You've been asking for it, so here it is. The first episode of the Friends Like These podcast. We had a hell of a time last night, and I thank everybody who was a part of it. Being the first episode, the runtime, it's a little long. And the structure of the show, it hasn't fully been met yet. There may be times we seem to go off topic or maybe not be on point with the theme of the show. I will say, due to the celebration, I may have had one too many. However, I do believe this first episode, is a good representation of what the show can and will become. But maybe not exactly there yet. As I said before, I'm hoping to have an entertaining show with a cast of characters who I find to be inspirational, motivational, funny, and so forth, with careers, lives, and hobbies that can be very informative for people who may have common interests. So sit back, get ready, and enjoy the show.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Yeah. Hi!
Friends like these, huh, Gary? And here we go.
And welcome, everybody, to the first ever With Friends Like These podcast. I am your host, Casey Spina. I am sitting here with good friend, longtime friend, best friend, Steve Schnepp.
Hello.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the first guest of the podcast.
Thank you for letting me bring beer to your house.
Right. Thank you for bringing beer. And we are sitting in the podcast room, which just conveniently happens to be my room. I mean, it's finally clean for once.
Very nice. It took this long, but it's nice.
Also in the room, we do have a few guests today.
She's not a guest towards me, though. I mean,
we have
my wife.
Steve's wife, Kelly Schnepp, because I can't
You're
call
always
her.
a guest in my life, babe. Yeah, wait, that makes no sense. It's fine.
And also, we have this random kid sitting in the corner over here.
I hate him.
Do you want to talk about him for a second?
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, this guy.
Oh, it's Plaid Shirt Man. That's his name. Guitar playing Plaid Shirt Man. I mean Eric. No, sorry. Whoops.
Yeah, you'll eventually meet these people along the way. They have some interesting things to say, especially Steve's wife. Our topic, I think, is going to be relationships. That's going to be I don't know how Steve feels about that one. So, Steve, we go back pretty far. What is it, 13, 14 years now?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we're 13. Well, I'm just making sure I remember the exact timeline.
Thursday.
Today's Thursday. The wind is going at about 13 years.
13, 14 years. And we met,
Ready for the anticlimactic way we met? At a bowling alley.
Bowling alley. We actually, not even that. We were so cool. We were on a bowling league.
You're fucking right. I was cool. I had average of 101, 100.
I had 107, so
yeah, 100 and something. Whatever.
Beat that.
It was a 110 average at one point.
Yeah, and I mean, considering I'll never let go of this, and it's the only thing I can hold on to.
I'm dick measuring from when I was bowling at 12 years old. Serious.
I beat you by one fucking pin throughout the entire league.
Sakes.
One pin. What was it, like one? Or no, it wasn't under average. It was like actual pins down, right?
Yeah, you had some stupid ass lucky break at the very end. Like I had some little fucking dinky ass trophy, but it's fine. It's fine. I still won the championship, so suck a dick.
Yeah, your team did beat mine, and that sucked. But somehow,
I mean, my name was the Red Sox. Here we are.
So no, we were on the bowling league, and I beat you by one pin.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know the story, but when I first met you, I didn't like you at all.
I can relate to that.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I probably wouldn't like me either. I'm a cock, man. Generally.
Now, the story goes with this one is I
was a dick, yeah.
Actually, you weren't. That's the problem. I was just, alone and awkward. I mean, some things never change. but
You're still pretty alone.
I hate
And awkward.
I really hate him.
Oh,
But,
man, with friends like these, right?
And they wonder why it's called, the With Friends Like These podcast. But no, I was the kid who didn't really talk with anybody except, the adults, because I was the cool kid like that, because I got along with older people, because kids my age didn't like me. Go figure. And I do my thing every Saturday, and I'm, talking to the adults, and all of a sudden comes this one kid who's cool as shit, just
Wow.
hanging around all the adults,
Damn,
making them
just
laugh.
Sucking the balls right now.
And I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid?
He drool one side of his mouth. I remember this clear as day. Sparkles in his eyes.
And I'm like,
huge
no.
fucking
I'm
boner.
like,
I was
this
like,
kid,
yep.
this kid is stealing my spotlight. No, I'm not having this. So every time we would be up, side by side bowling, I just freaking stare you down. I don't, and let you bowl first because
I remember thinking
I had to do
was
better
like-
than you.
I was like, huh, this kid really wants to suck my dick. What's going on here?
That's exactly what it was.
That's actually not what I said, but it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, so you were competition in more ways than one, and I hated you. Some things, again, still never change.
No, that's fine. I'm easy to hate. Should we do our celebratory shot? We should probably do our celebratory shot.
We should. We do. We all have shots here. What do we have, Steve? Why don't you?
This is ready. Sponsorship. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. Wait, I have to read the label.
Oh, yep.
Finely crafted cinnamon liqueur blended with Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. Wow, so good. We're not getting paid for that, but it's
No.
fine. I'm going to
Cheers.
say it anyways.
First podcast, successful one, hopefully. That shit is good.
It is good. Fuck Fireball. That's way better.
Anyways, Steve. So we met bowling, and we our common interest then, I think that kind of brought us together was what, wrestling.
Yeah, I would say probably wrestling and music. Yeah,
Yes, music.
Yeah.
So we talked about wrestling. We bonded over that, and it's funny. We started out bowling in competition, and we had our wars throughout our history. I mean, verbally and physically. Actually, we used to, believe it or not. I mean, if you've seen me, you know that I'm not. I shouldn't have been doing this, but I was a backyard wrestler as well as Steve. And at one time, me and Steve were both 14-year-olds and looked like 14-year-olds. He grew up and, actually started to look like a man, and I didn't change. So, I mean, at one point we were the same size, and I could actually hold my own. I can't say that's the case nowadays.
Well, shit
Nah,
happens.
fuck that. I got enough alcohol in me. I can take you.
Oh, the podcast is going to get interesting now.
We fought over many things. We've had our differences. Let's see. So we backyard wrestled. Remember that story? Why did we fight, Steve? Why did we fight?
Isn't that a song?
Wait, what?
Isn't that a song?
Over girls.
Over girls. Yes.
Oh, yes. Women
Yeah.
start wars.
And
Also backyard wrestling tournaments.
Yes.
They start those too.
And 2-hour-long matches that really hurt after a while, especially when you get a chair drop kicked into your head, which that was you. But then when you kick the chair into said person, and then the chair and the person on top of it falls onto your ankle, and they're incapacitated, you don't know what to do. I remember that one very clearly. I couldn't wake you up, and the chair's on my ankle. You're on top of the chair, and I'm just screaming like a little bitch because it hurt.
That was my strategy the entire time. Actually,
Was it?
I was like, when we get knocked out.
Well, actually, because funny, your finisher happened to deal with the ankle too. So, and I had that fucking match won too until you got up.
yeah, I did.
You had to finish
I
it?
broke ankles like Ken Shamrock. Real men, America, right there. That's what that is.
No.
What? Have I
Hashtag.
broken her ankle? No, not that kind of finisher, Eric. Not that kind of finisher. I know what you're doing. No, don't have one of those.
I knew you were thinking that. That's awful.
Does anybody else think about Mortal Kombat at the moment?
So more backstory. I'm trying to think. So we fought over girls, and I lost both
We jumped.
physically and the girl. All right. So the main kind of purpose for this podcast is to kind of get to know different kind of people who do kind of normal stuff, but not.
I wouldn't say that I'm not normal.
No,
That's for
especially
sure.
I mean, especially your career path. It's kind of it's interesting, and I've never really sat down and talked to you about what you do, and that's kind of what made me think of this whole kind of thing to get to know my friends better and ask questions and learn about them in ways that I never really asked questions
And
about.
get sponsorship from Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
Right.
Jack Daniels, if you're listening, please.
Yep. I love your Tennessee
Jack
Fire.
Daniels is dead, Casey.
Wow. You had to bring it there. Anyways, my job. Don't listen to Eric. Fucking Eric.
So why don't you tell everybody what it is that you do?
I, according to most nurses and hospitals in the public, am an ambulance driver. However, contrary to popular belief, we do have other titles.
Oh yeah, well like what? What is that?
Well, I was an EMT for now 5 years. Yep, I've been an EMT for 5 years, and then I recently became a paramedic.
Now,
At least I think I did. I put the uniform on every day, and
now, this might be an ignorant statement, but are they not the same? So, so if you're a paramedic, are you an EMT?
well, technically yes.
Okay.
I mean, but you're an EMT that does more, and you have more training.
All
you
right,
do
so
more things.
paramedic could be an EMT, but an EMT cannot be a.
No. Well, no. It's essentially like in order to become a paramedic, you have to be an EMT first. You have to be certified first.
Stepping stones.
Essentially, and then you gain, further training, and then you become a paramedic, and you're able to do a lot more things and have a lot more liability. But it's fun.
Just like climbing any ladder. I mean, that's kind of the case, right?
Yeah. So I suppose, it's just it's a lot more training. It's a little more stressful, sort of. It's a little more thinking involved, I suppose. It's just, it's more interesting. It's a lot more interesting. I mean.
Well, with more responsibilities, like the more pressure, the more.
I thought you were gonna throw like a Superman or Batman thing. I was like, with great power comes great responsibility. I was like,
I mean,
fuck right, I have power. God damn it. That's right.
I could have thrown that in
Fucking there. No, I'm not one of those hero people. But anyways,
but technically, people would call you a hero, though.
yeah, but I don't know. No, like anyone in our field, like there are the types that do this job that will
For the fame and
totally
glory.
act
Yeah.
like they are the fucking like the greatest thing to hit the earth. Like they are God's greatest gift to mankind. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the job. It's a fun job. It's always interesting. I don't go out there and be like, I saved your fucking life. No, because it's just like I did something. If I helped you, great. If I didn't, well, it is what it is. But yeah, it's different now. Being a paramedic is a lot different than being an EMT. Like a lot different. Because I think in those 4 years, I got pretty comfortable doing my job. It was,
Okay.
you get to, the job. It's just, I mean, granted, being an EMT basic is not some, it's not like a crap job or it's a great job, but it's also, it's basic. They're called basics. It's a very basic job. There's not a whole lot that we do. When you get good at what you do and being able to tell sick versus not sick, that's all you really care about. When you become a medic, it's a little more involved and there's more to it at that point. You recognizing, doing EKGs and recognizing, rhythms and dangerous rhythms and whatnot. And when someone's sick, you actually have to, do something a little more than just bring them to the hospital.
So be more than a ambulance driver.
Yeah, well, essentially. Well, hey, watch your mouth. You'll get killed off. You'll get shanked for that. But yeah, essentially, more than just driving them to the hospital and doing simple things. It's a little more involved, but it's fun.
I can give medicine.
I can give drugs. I can put IVs in people, intubate them if I ever have
Can
to.
you
I
sell
suppose.
drugs?
I mean, I probably could, but I don't think that it would be good with my company's policy, or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts probably wouldn't appreciate that either.
Yeah.
But, or the FBI. I don't know, any of those things, but maybe not the FBI. Yeah.
Not to play
Probably not.
interviewer over KC for a second, but The other day, weren't we talking?
Well, but we're all friends here, Erica, right?
Someone said something to you when you were in the back of the ambulance recently. I remember you telling me about it. Someone said something really funny to you, and I can't remember what it was. Do you remember that conversation?
Was that recently?
Yeah, maybe not. Like maybe it didn't happen recently, but we talked about it recently.
Said something
you said that
funny.
they were talking about something really funny, and they said something to you.
Some people say some really funny shit.
I was
Like
gonna say,
there's
what's the funniest thing you've ever heard in the back of one of those things?
Well, I was propositioned. Now, see, not many people can be propositioned by a hooker, but this guy can. Huh? Take that. You know, granted, she was not a very, you wouldn't really go and ask her how much because she's not exactly a great looking person. So, actually, she's also dead now, so that doesn't even matter. But the point being,
Oh my god!
the point being,
That's so
now,
morbid.
and I will not drop. There's no like names or anything
Yeah,
like
let's
that.
try not to do that.
We don't. It's called HIPAA. We're not going to violate it. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, she propositioned me in the back of an ambulance. That was kind of fun. She kind of, you know,
Wait, so you have been propositioned?
yeah.
By a
she
now
said, "Turn the lights
dead-
off, and I'll give you one for free." And I'm like, "Well, that sounds
How-
great. You and all your one tooth, but you know, I'm gonna pass and just take you to the hospital because you're, you know, drunk."
No, the other one was.
I've had
the-
plenty of
the
these, so
woman-
yeah.
The woman
Which
who
one?
said something to you. You were telling Eric about it.
I'm glad you remember.
No.
This is why I keep.
I wish I could
This is
remember
honestly.
what it
This is why I keep a wife around because I can't remember shit, and she's always here to tell me.
It was
You know,
something about a woman who said something to you about like you were like good looking or something.
that I was
to
good
that
looking.
extent.
Who doesn't
Like
say that?
something-
Honestly,
Well, who doesn't think that?
honestly, Eric tells me all the time.
Well, you know,
He texts me in the morning. He's like, "Hey, gorgeous." I'm like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?"
One time.
Well, that's fine. So she said she told me I was good looking. Is that what happened?
No, you were.
It happens so often I can't remember.
Yeah,
isn't that isn't that
some guy
great?
had like a one-liner. It was
Yeah.
like, whatever you do, you know, be yourself. Like he was like Wicked Gandhi on you.
Oh no, he said well, this might not be the one you're talking about, but this is one of my favorite ones. Is I got worldly advice from an old drunk guy, and it was probably like to this day it's still kind of the best advice I think I've gotten. And he said we were bringing him to the hospital. He just, you know, an old man, had a lot to drink, and he was just going to the hospital. No big deal. But on the way, he didn't say a word. We got to the hospital, and he was like, "Remember, always front to back, never back to front." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "When you wipe your ass." I'm like, "What? All right, thank you." And I was like, I mean, I know that, but that's great advice. I was like, way to be, old man. It was great advice. It was honestly great advice.
That's a gem.
That really is. If
That's
you
the
know,
definition
like
of
if I was
gem.
gonna write an autobiography, it'd be you know, front to back, never back to front.
Who would play that guy in a movie?
That guy,
Yeah.
preferably Clint Eastwood, but it probably wouldn't. He's kind of artsy now. He wouldn't really probably do that.
Will Ferrell.
You know who would play that? Can you imagine Donald Sutherland like drunk? Like imagine that, because he's usually pretty proper, but imagine him fucking like just slammered. That's the guy right there. Bam, to a T.
great.
That is the guy.
That's great.
I know, like way in left field, Donald Sutherland. You're like, oh, you think someone else is gonna be picked? No.
Now, again, I've known you for quite some time, and
Yes.
you never really had a designated career path. I know you've kind of thought of some things.
This was like an accident.
That's true. I remember that.
Okay, it wasn't an accident.
But, like,
I didn't,
what made
fall
you-
into a fucking ambulance? I was like, right, I'll work here. But
What made you pick this? Because I know before that
Well,
what exactly did you
I
do?
was in school for business. I mean, at the time, I was doing office furniture, and I was just doing like a simple job. I installed offices, as glamorous as that sounds.
Hmm.
Now, granted, hey, they were expensive ass offices, but you know, it's just a.
And this is
it
why,
was a job.
he buffed up and I didn't, because he actually lifted shit. and
Lifted
I
shit up. That's right, ladies.
did nothing.
If you could only see what you're looking at, what these guys are looking at right here.
Which actually you can see, because we're going to have some pictures. And if you follow on Twitter, look at this cheap plug here.
Jesus
at
Christ.
uh,
Good Lord.
I forget the link right now because, I'm bad at being a host.
See what happens when you drink on a podcast? You don't even know the name of your own goddamn show is. What's the link? I don't know. Twitter and some shit. Look me up.
MySpace.
It's at
MySpace.
WFTL Podcast. That's what it is. If you go there on Twitter, you can see all these pictures, and you can look at Steve looking like a fucking rock star right now.
These white sunglasses.
White sunglasses, his Boston Bruins.
From his own wedding.
From my own wedding. I know.
Yes.
Like, and yeah, okay, just that's gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like
That's pretty lame.
plug myself being so goddamn.
That's-
It's lame.
That's pretty lame.
Yo, some guy got married and he was like, "Wow, I'm gonna give everyone some fucking white
That's
sunglasses."
like when Metallica would wear Metallica shirts when they were playing.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd probably do that too. If I was Metallica and I was the biggest band in the world, even though I sold out, I would probably wear my own shirts too.
I think Iron Maiden does.
Except if I was like the rest of Metallica, I'd punch Lars in the face.
Iron Maiden definitely
'Cause
does do that.
He just has a face you just want to punch.
Yeah.
Lars, he just does. He just really does. I just want to punch him so bad. Nothing against him. I just want to punch him in his face.
So you're choosing to be or become an EMT. What happened there? You were saying.
I was, so like I said, I was working for just a furniture company. I was going to school for business after high school. I immediately went to college and or community college. No, come on. I didn't go to real college. But nothing against that shit. That's fine. But I went to community college and I was going to school for business, and I was going to do that and go that route because it was easy and I was good at it.
Well, because everyone goes for business.
Well, everyone does, but I enjoyed markening and I enjoyed advertising.
Oh,
and
I mean,
you know,
as do I. I mean,
like, because I
seriously.
remember watching in I watched, there was one of the articles in my advertising class. It was not an article, but a chapter involved different ways of advertising, and they showed one about how liquor companies will, the way that they said that there's a way that when they do in a given commercial, you have a glass. The ice cubes, if you notice, most of them are always like perfectly squared and like smoothed out on the sides.
Okay, yeah, I have noticed that. Yeah,
And then the glass is always kind of sweating, always, and that actually triggers. This is so off topic, but that triggers it's like in this the same portion of your brain that actually triggers your sexual responses, like in your is actually that's where it's triggered. So your general interest in that is not, it's not saying you look at Smirnoff vodka and go, yeah, I want to fuck that bottle of vodka. No, because I mean,
So Kelly, you need to put a lot of glasses in the freezer all the time and just make sure you shape ice cubes really, really like.
No, super square. If it's not super square, we're
really
not talking.
square, like,
well, hold
I'm
on.
talking,
I do have those round ones, and those are nice. Those
Whiskey stones. Whiskey stones are awesome.
Yeah,
No.
but they're expensive as shit.
are you talking
Anyways.
about the ones that look like boobs? Because you have those too.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but those things are great. They melt perfectly. But anyways, that aspect of advertising interests me because I was like, well, that's great. If I can manipulate you into thinking about, like, I need to buy this for some goddamn reason. I got a boner on this commercial. I don't know why.
Kelly, your whole relationship has been manipulation. End of story, right there.
Oh, I'm aware.
Well, then clearly I'm good at my job. But yeah, so I was going to school for business and I was trying to get a focus in advertising and marketing and yada, yada, yada. Long story short, I did... I remember I worked for the furniture company that I worked for. We had a bunch of different businesses that we worked subcontracted for, and we did work for a bunch of major companies that you would see. I'm not going to name their names because, yeah. So this one in particular is an investment company, very large investment company. Figure it out. I did work for them exclusively, and I did work for them every day. I would go in to do all their furniture, do everything else. And I remember part of my job used to be delivering moving boxes. Like, so if they were moving people from one office building to like another in some other location, they'd pack up all the belongings, and then a moving crew would come in and grab their stuff and go. So one time, this certain company had a very, very large layoff, and they got rid of tons of people. And I remember I actually delivered boxes to those people because they were packing up their shit and getting out. So I remember I dropped off. I remember this specifically because this is actually what changed my mind about what I was doing. And it didn't necessarily make me be an EMT, but it just was like, I can't do this shit forever. So I dropped boxes off to this he's just like an executive's office, and he was packing up his stuff, and he looked kind of upset, and he left the room. And I looked on his wall, and he had like a bunch of diplomas for business administration, yada yada yada, and from different colleges. And I'm thinking, okay, so that's gonna be me. And then I'm gonna come into work one day, and they're gonna go, "Hey, suck a dick, get out of here." And you're like, "Wow, okay, great." that BMW is gonna be hard to afford on no job. You know,
No,
so
and it's really sad how it works that way.
well, it's
these
just,
days,
I just thought that was really fucked up, and I was kind of like, wow, this would probably be me if I keep doing this.
Sadly,
ridiculous
it
career, but
quite, possibly could
I mean,
be.
great. Hey, those businesses that don't do that, and
No, exactly.
typically you can definitely make it. But it was one of those things where I was like, I didn't like it anyways because it was boring to me. Because I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the marketing, advertising aspect, but everything else about it I was just so boring. Microeconomics and all that bullshit. It's not that it was hard. It was just like I had no interest whatsoever.
Which I failed. Microeconomics.
It's such a
I
shit
sucked
class.
so bad.
You pay such crazy attention to these stupid details that are just, I don't know. It's all just.
Also, I went to UMass Low, and my teacher couldn't speak almost an ounce of English. So, naturally, I had no
Are we
idea
dead spacing again?
No, we're not dead spacing at all.
No, okay, good. No, good.
No.
Not editing that shit out. Haha, fuck you. What? You pointing at me?
Don't be talking shit about UMass Lowell.
That was me, not him.
I have a T-shirt. I can't talk shit about it now.
That's why he asked. Like, oh, we're gonna start to just like banter now.
Oh, no.
Talk Eric and his
No,
UMass
I'm not gonna
Lowell
talk.
education.
I almost went there. I wanted to go there. You want to know why I didn't go there? Because they were like, hey,
I was there.
that was partly it. But no, they were like, hey, this is how much it is a year. And I was like, well, hey, yeah, no. So I didn't go. But I was gonna go for business. If I continued business, I would have went to UMass Lowell. I had it all planned out. They were even gonna give me a discount because I was at community college. They were like, wow, you're poor. Here you go.
Paramedics get a discount?
At
anything.
Yes, sometimes we do. Surprisingly enough, not enough though. By the way, I'm gonna fucking let's just thank you, Eric, for bringing that topic up.
This is why I'm here.
Yeah, because this is some bullshit. Now, okay, so I don't care. Like, I'm never the one to be like, do I get a discount? Like, no, I don't care. How much is it? Great, I'll pay you. Wonderful.
And that's true. I can actually vouch for that. Because
yeah, like I make money, I pay you money. This is how the world works. I get it, but you go sometimes to different like companies, coffee shops, or fucking I don't know, whatever, some other shit, and they'll have like a police fire discount, but they don't include EMS, and I never understood that because I'm like, okay, well, we also go to most of what they go to. Typically, we also do the job that they do. Typically, I mean, not okay. That's
really weird too, because I've never really because obviously I'm not in the field. I've never noticed that.
No,
it's kind of fucked up.
Some places do have like police, fire, EMS discounts, but that's like it's not as prevalent as you think it would be.
I mean, you do risk your life just as much as the next person.
I mean, in theory, yeah, it's not all the time that I'm not like fucking jumping and covering people's jumping bullets and shit and.
I mean, you're not jumping on the grenade, so to say.
Well, yeah, because I wouldn't do that. That's not that's a dumbass idea. If you're jumping on a grenade, well, I mean, you're gonna die, so it's not my deal.
So you're not.
I will help the guy that jumps on the grenade if I can. Probably not, but I'm not gonna do it myself because that's suicide. That's dumb. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So that's one thing though. It's like people forget that. We also exist in the first responder world, and it'd be kind of nice to be a little bit of a, I'm not saying I need a discount.
You're not asking for a handout. You're not looking
recognition to be
recognition.
Nice.
That
all.
would be the
Just
right
like,
word,
hey,
I believe. Yeah.
Fucking ambulance driver, you get a discount too. Call me whatever you want. If you say, hey, you should do some stupid ass job, we'll give you a discount. Fine, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for the recognition. You can call me an ambulance driver. It's essentially what I do.
But they don't know better. I mean, it's. Not to sound like
it's
not a negative term, but it's ignorance in a way.
If you ask most people in my in the field that I'm in, and I mean, granted, this is getting too far into it because a lot of people that I know, and myself included, don't really care so much about discounts because it is what it is.
Yeah.
If we have them, that's wonderful. If we don't, whatever. But the
I mean, I've never been out with you and heard you flip out on
Well,
I never
ask anyways. I'll never.
Why the fuck don't you have an EMS discount? I've never seen that from you. Nor have I ever. This is the first time I've actually even heard you mention it. So
the only time I've ever even asked for, I shouldn't say that. I didn't really ask for a discount. I asked if they had one, is because they had Army Barracks has a military police fire discount. So I just asked I walked in and I was like, do you guys do like police fire EMS? And she said, yeah. And I'm like, well, okay, cool. That covered everything. Wonderful. But I'll never ask for it because that's just not my. That's thing.
Yeah, that's definitely not you.
I don't try to over glorify what I do. I do a job. I do enjoy my job, and it's interesting job, but I sure as hell don't act like I'm a hero, because I'm not, some fucking hero. Like, oh my god, I saved a burning building. I saved a bunch of kids. Like, those guys are... I will consider firefighters heroes. Those guys run into burning buildings.
Actually, if I remember
take
right...
them when they're done to the hospital, which is great. It's a beautiful job, but...
If I remember right, that was something you actually considered for a while, right?
I'm still... Well, I wouldn't say that I'm not considering it. I'm still doing
okay,
it.
so it's still in your mind.
It's a very complicated thing to get involved in. In Massachusetts, a lot of them are civil service, and I missed the last sign up for the civil service test. But so I didn't get to take that one. But in New Hampshire, it's tough because there's a lot of... They don't do civil service typically up here at all.
Okay.
So you can get a job in a fire department, but the problem is they want you to have your Fire 1, Fire 2 and go to the academy, which if you're going to the academy by yourself, it's pretty expensive out of pocket, like $8,000. I've had friends tell me it's roughly upwards of that much money, and they pay it out of pocket, which I'm not poor, I am not that rich, so I'm not just gonna drop $8,000 and be like, hey, here you go. I'm just gonna, maybe I'll get a job one day. No, that's not. I just
No, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
I mean, I do want to go. I definitely want to go to the academy, and I would love to get a job as on a fire department, preferably as a paramedic, just because I still want to do this job.
Now, I know there's a lot of people that I know who work with the fire department, do a lot of volunteering. Is that something you would consider?
I did actually consider that myself, but it's a little tough because the areas around us that do on call or phone,
is it like an hours kind of thing?
Well, it's just that I don't live close enough, being that we're where we are in New Hampshire. I don't live close enough to the couple departments that are in the area that do that for on call. Because right now, our immediate departments in Salem and the surrounding towns all do career. They don't have their on call guys, so. If you were to go in an on-call department, you have to live pretty close, because if you have to get a call, you'd be
absolutely.
Close. I don't live super close to them to be able to do it. If I did, it'd be better, because then I could just they can sponsor you through the whole thing and put you through the academy and whatnot, and you go from there. But
gotcha. Now I know you were talking about schooling, and we were talking about economics. So, what kind of schooling do you need to have to be an EMT and become a paramedic?
EMT, it's pretty easy. You just take an EMT course. You can go to a college for that.
Okay.
If certain colleges offer it, you can go to tons of different companies that offer EMT courses. Even a lot of ambulance companies offer an EMT course directly, and you can just do that and then probably get hired within it.
Now, if I know right, you said you went community college, which I went to NECO as well.
Yep.
So you went.
I went to NECO and I took my EMT basic there because I stopped going for business. That's where I went after that story I told. I said, you know what, fuck this. I said, I'm changing out of this. And someone had a friend of mine. He was going for his EMT. And so I said, I'm going to do that.
See, and that's great, because that's something I never knew that. You never really had shared that with me. We never really talked about that. I had no idea why you would switch from what you did
as a kid,
an EMT.
I always wanted to be involved in either police, fire, or
that. See, that I knew. I knew you always wanted to do something to help people.
Yeah, it was police, fire, or essentially when I was a kid, it was police, fire, or military is kind of what my three things that I had in mind as a child.
And we know what vetoed the military.
Well,
it's to my right here.
That's right, my beautiful wife. Well, it's not really. She didn't really tell me no. It was just because I felt bad, and actually, that wasn't really the reason I didn't go, though. To be honest with you, I was still gonna go because at the time her and I were dating, and that's fine, all fine and well. But I was like, she'll wait for me. It's fine, I'd hoped, but anyways, no, I initially was very gung ho about going and joining up.
I do remember that, and I'm pretty sure we had conversations where I was pretty against you going too.
Well, a lot of people were.
I mean, just because you were my friend, and too many people I knew were going over there and not coming home. Well, all right, I can't say that. There was a few I knew, and I didn't want you to be one of those.
Well, I think a lot of the influence that I had for doing anything in that realm of jobs, as far as fire, EMS, or military, or what have you, it had a lot to do. 8th grade, I was I was in school on September 11th when the attack hit. And I remember them putting the television on after the first tower was hit, and they were watching it. It was, burning. And then I watched it live on. We had televisions in the classrooms, and because we used to do like morning news and all that other crap.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So then you watch the plane hit live on television, and I was like, man, and that was like life changing. Because I mean, it's not every day you see a terrorist attack or something crazy like this. Like people in the 40s had
Well,
World War.
sadly, it is almost every day now that you see that. Yeah, nowadays.
But before it was like the major thing, like World War II for the people in the 40s, where that was a major thing for them. That was a huge thing. The JFK assassination, huge thing for some people.
Exactly.
That's still talked about to this day.
In our lifetime, and for it was 9/11,
right.
and they will forever talk about that.
I really don't want to sound cliche by talking about it like that, but like
it's definitely a great comparison, and it makes sense.
Well, it was a life changing. I mean, I watched it. It was like, holy shit! And
it's one of those things where you hear your parents talk about moments that they knew exactly where they were when it happened.
Right.
That was, at least for me, the first one.
Yep. Yeah, I would say that's probably my first thing as a kid.
Kelly, your wife here, can vouch for me.
You guys didn't get that in school.
We didn't. They didn't tell us anything. They told us shit. All we know is that our teacher started crying. They, walked out of the room.
They had relatives that died, but they wouldn't tell us what went on.
Yeah, no, it was a very awkward, weird.
We're gonna protect them from the real world.
That is, we went to a Catholic school, of course, and they, were like, "Oh, evil! We can't let them know that there is evil in this world because blah blah blah."
We should have been able to make the choice.
It's evil afoot. Thank you, Eric.
But no, so all I know is me and I don't know if Kelly, me and you were in the same class at the time, but Mrs. Convoy started crying as she left the room, and
well, I'll be thankful that at least went to Lawrence Public Schools and they turned the television on. They were like, "What a teacher!"
Let's take a second here. He just said someone in the first time probably in history just said we're thankful for going to a Lawrence Public School.
Hey, well, at least it sort of solidified my career choice.
You're absolutely right.
Not really, but I mean, it was in my mind after that.
No, that's actually really true. I never,
They walked in and they said they thought that the tower had been bombed. They said bombed. They turned television on because they were like, well, current television kids should know about it. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, we should. So they put the TV on, and then I watched that happen in real life, and it was devastating. It was crazy to watch. And I remember afterwards, everything, the coverage about that, and I remember watching.
Did you get to see the second plane hit the tower?
Well, that's what it was. It was the first plane had already hit.
Okay,
that's where the news was. It was like, holy shit, something's happening. Mm-hmm. So then after that, they put the televisions on, and then the second plane came around.
So you got to see it live.
Oh, live! I watched it. It was it was a live footage of like a news crew had like some roof of some building, and they're watching directly at the towers, like mid level, and I remember watching. You see a plane come in the background, all of a sudden, right into the building, and I was like. Holy fucking
even
shit.
Thinking about it today, it's still
it gives you goosebumps because it is kind of eerie because you're like that was
to think about that people hate us so much or just hate people in general so much that they're just willing to go to that extreme to eliminate them.
A fucking terrible place. People, that's one thing. People just people ignore how shitty this world is, but whatever. I'm not going to get it. That's a whole other topic.
We could have a whole other podcast about that, which at some time we may do. There's going to be plenty of other things that we're going to cover.
Plenty of beer to consume. So, I mean, there's plenty of topics to cover.
No, but it's fine because it's definitely interesting stuff, and this is the stuff that I'm looking to cover. And I know it sounds like it doesn't have the podcast so far hasn't had a straight line of what we're doing, but that's
a fresh show, man.
Honestly, that's
later on.
That's what I wanted. I wanted things to kind of branch off into other things, then come back. Which we're on the basic idea of what we're talking about,
right?
And then eventually we come right back to it. We're not forgetting about it. So, right. I mean, these are interesting things, and I truly believe that whoever is listening, if anyone is listening, are. That they're going to connect, especially talking about 9/11. There's going to be someone who
who wasn't there to see that.
Exactly. So definitely don't.
That's one thing you can say. Like you're like, where were you when? I know where exactly. But I don't know. As far as schooling goes, if anyone is curious, it's pretty easy to figure out. But EMT is just typically a regular course. It takes like a year, roughly. I mean, depending on where you
again,
go.
another reason for doing the podcast was because I knew a few people who were interested and or who have been starting to become an EMT. And, you know, like instead of saying, hey, you know, here's my friend Steve, you should talk to him and, you know, get 3 people to call you, text you, whatever. Here's a platform that I can, put up there, and, you have it out there that anybody can, come and listen to this and hear you talk about what it's like, some stories, some experiences, what it takes.
I mean, paramedics for medic school is typically a 2-year program, depending on where you go.
So you've done the paramedic schooling so far?
Well, yeah, I have.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you have to do.
Well,
it.
Obviously,
you can't be
because you are a
paramedic.
paramedic.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to go through the schooling. It takes like about 2 years, roughly, depending on where you go.
See, it's funny because I didn't even know you were doing that. Again, things that we don't talk about because it's just.
No, I was just like I was in school.
Yeah, you're doing it like it. And this is why again. I want to do this. There's things that I don't know. Hey, that I find extremely interesting.
And yeah, I mean it was cool. It's a long process, but once you're done doing all the schooling and everything else, it's once you get hired and start working, it's fun, different because it's you feel like a newbie again, and it kind of sucks, but.
Well, I kind of feel like that's in any situation. And I'm kind of in that.
It is. It's a new job.
I'm kind of in that situation too. I mean, I just got kind of promoted, but it's like for a while. The way I explained it is, I kind of felt like the underdog because I was always the one who was like really outspoken, and the way I acted, I probably shouldn't have reached the top of the ladder. However. For whatever reason, I did, and but now all of a sudden it's like, okay, so I'm at the top here. I just got promoted, and now all of a sudden I'm back at the bottom because I'm at the next level. But
yeah, well, it's like any hierarchy.
So yeah, it's almost you can say that with anything.
Yeah, like it's the same thing with my job. I mean, you gain seniority by being at like this company like I had for the better part of 4 years. Like people come and go for whatever reasons, but. You gain...
Now, how is that? Is that quick? Like people come and go? Like,
is there... I mean, it depends.
Do a lot of people stick with it, or do they
a lot of people
notice that this isn't for them? And
I don't think it's that. I think a lot of people do it because they're getting into their ultimate goal is to either be nurses, doctors, PAs. So they do EMT to get a basis in the medical field. You know what I mean? So they get that at least that base knowledge, and which I think is important for. Most like people is if you're gonna be a nurse or a PA or someone, it's good. It's a good way to get your feet wet if you haven't really explored the medical field. It's an easy in. It doesn't take a whole lot to get in, and it's a different interaction than it is for someone just becoming a nurse out of nowhere, like which you could do, of course, but takes a lot of schooling. But you get a different feel for it. So it's just getting your feet wet. It's exactly what I'm trying to say, but it's it's a good job. It's fun. It's long hours. Some heavy fucking lifting.
I believe it actually.
But it's it's cool. I like it.
Hence the muscles, right?
Yeah, no, ladies, honestly, if you could see, I don't know if my wife took pictures yet, but goddamn, these guns.
Yeah, that's a pretty big sweatshirt.
That's why I wore it, motherfucker.
This is actually all arm.
It's the whole thing is just sleeve. It's not even. Yeah, I'm just lying to you.
So out there on the field, you must see a lot of interesting things, a lot of
that's
sad things, a lot of happy. I'm sure there's good stories and bad stories,
great
right?
Stories is funny. A lot of what we do is a lot of like if you notice if you are friends with or if you work in the field, there's a lot of crude, just really fucked up humor.
From what I hear, it's kind of like you have to to make it through the day.
I guess.
Like they talk about people who work at like funeral homes and stuff, and they always make like dead jokes and stuff like that.
They have
because
what are you gonna be sad all the time? Like
exactly.
If you worked at a funeral home, that'd be depressing as shit. If you're just like, oh god, another one dead. Like
another one bites the dust.
I gotta make some fucking jokes about it. But like, yeah, we do the same thing essentially. Is it to compensate for the stress? Who knows?
Completely
maybe.
Off topic here. Have you seen that show? I don't even know what it's called. I think it's on CW. It's the one about the paramedics.
Oh, I know.
Oh
what
no,
you're talking
I think it's USA,
about.
maybe.
I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
I saw that. I think I saw a commercial for that.
It's like the three guys.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it.
No,
Oh, that's what the hell? I remember I posted about that. What the hell is that show?
Yeah, I saw the commercial today.
They work for a fire department. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I
There's-
forget,
yeah.
I forget what it is. It's I haven't watched.
I was
it
wondering
yet.
if you saw that because it looked kind of funny and
I
it
haven't
also
watched
looked
it.
like.
I heard
So I
it
wanted
was
you.
pretty
I
funny.
kind of wanted to know
I
if
think.
any of that is like true because it seems like it's the same kind of
I
stuff.
haven't. I can't really. You couldn't quote me because I haven't seen the show,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really know.
But every time I see the commercial, I think of you. It's just like, oh, I wonder if Steve has seen this.
But yeah, I haven't seen the actual show. I know I intended to watch it because it did look interesting. I mean, I didn't know if it was gonna be like accurate or whatever. Because
I mean, the reason
Chicago Fire. Let's just put that out there. That shit is horseshit. The whole show is horseshit. All the fucking people are like, "Oh my god, I love
so
this
do
show."
not watch Chicago Fire.
Okay, look, if you want to watch it for the entertainment aspect alone, fine. But please do not think that is what happens in the field.
But the main reason I
paramedic
mentioned
ever.
that show is because there's the commercial where I guess the lady has died, and it's just kind of funny.
The cookies one?
The cookie, exactly.
Yeah. And that's what I think. I saw that when they were advertising the series starting, and I was like, this looks pretty funny because it's that kind of humor that we do have, even on scene. I mean, granted, we try not to be disrespectful of families, obviously, ever, but you have that kind of humor when you're in that field. I guess it's just kind of part of the way it goes. But and granted, I'm not saying like I don't sit there and I don't purposefully, create humor as some sort of defense mechanism. Like, oh, I'm so sad, so I got to be funny. No, we make crude ass jokes because it's just the field we're in. I guess we just have a weird, sick sense of humor, and that's how it works. But yeah, I mean, you see some funny shit. You see some really
Sirens.
sucky shit.
That's the name of the show.
Sirens. That's exactly what it is. It's on USA.
Yep.
Yes. You see some funny shit. You see a lot of funny shit.
But there's another one though. There's another one that I just saw today.
I saw it. I don't.
Like real life.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one, but the one I was talking about was definitely Sirens.
That was on.
If they would just bring Rescue 911 back, that'd be fine.
What's the
come on, guys.
station with Dog the Bounty Hunter? Is that on USA or what, is
That
it
was-
Spike?
No, that's
That was A&E.
that's A&E.
A&E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then it's on A&E then because I saw the commercial for it.
Yeah, I haven't checked that out either, but I mean, I don't really watch a whole shitload of like EMS related things because
Well, I mean, yeah. Why would you? Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying.
you
Granted,
listen.
that's not saying like I've seen all the shit there is to see. Because no, but
I mean, I don't have
I
a
just-
lot to base off of this, but like a lot of people who are in the profession that they're in don't seem to watch a lot.
'cause
Like,
okay.
I mean, obviously, I'm a
Well,
self-proclaimed
let's
huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And I've listened to so many interviews with CM Punk, and he's always asked, "Do you watch Raws? Do you watch WrestleMania?
Probably
Do you watch your
doesn't.
match?" No, he doesn't watch
'Cause
anything
he
within
does
that
it
field.
for a
He
living.
doesn't
It's his
want
job.
anything to do
It's
with
his
it.
job,
know?
Like, and it's the same thing with us. Like, like, okay, again, I'm gonna pick on Chicago Fire because, okay, look, that show may be entertaining for the entertainment aspect of sheer drama, as like the shows are. Fine, but I mean, there are so many inaccuracies in that show. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, not to mention the fact that they paint people in a bad light where like you got one of the medics who's just giving some firefighter drugs because he has a drug habit. You got another one who a paramedic does it's a big term, but pericardial centesis in the field, which is essentially
Chicago Fire, is that the one with the one guy, or is it like a
no,
team?
this is like a whole bunch of people on the show.
Then what's the one? There's a dude who he's like a medic, or I don't know.
Dexter?
No, it's not Dexter.
That's a great show though.
I think it's another one on USA. I can't think of it.
Oh, you're thinking of, is it Royal Pains, where he's like a doctor?
No,
or some
no,
shit?
that one actually looks kind of funny.
I heard it was alright. I never really
But
watched
there's
it,
one where I think it's a British guy. He's like on almost like a protract. I don't know. Damn, I can't think of it.
I don't know the show. I mean, I do honestly. I don't even watch that because I don't watch shows related to EMS. Not on purpose.
No,
I
exactly.
was like, I don't really
Well,
have a whole lot of interest.
why the hell would you want to?
Well,
Anyways,
it's not to sound. It's I definitely don't want to sound like, oh well, I've seen fucking everything. Because no, okay, that's not how I am. It's just like I don't really care.
Why
Like,
would you want to come home and remind you of what you do all day?
Yeah, well, and granted, look, our job is not. If you work in some busy systems, you're constantly out, constantly doing crazy calls or just stupid calls that are just ridiculous and no need for an ambulance. But the point is like, regardless of if you're in a crazy busy system or a non-busy system, like not everyone wants to watch this. Like when you come home, like I watch better shows, like because most shows in the medical field, when it comes to the television shows, are completely made up, because half the shit you see on TV, as far as in the medical field, regardless if it's in an ER or on the street, it doesn't happen like that.
Well, of course, it's TV.
Some like Chicago Fire, some firefighter just used a sawzall and cut some guy's leg off, and that's okay, because 5 seconds later the trauma surgeon came rolling up in a police car that skidded onto the scene, and the trauma surgeon came running out. Yeah, okay, no. Never in your wildest dreams will that ever happen.
Like, they have like a 40-block radius at least.
Well, like it'll never happen. That will never fucking happen, because that's ridiculous. Like, there are some fucked up calls that you can do in this job. Absolutely. Sure. People do dumb shit every day. But, like, the shit on TV, and people they give us like a weird impression, like, you guys must do some crazy shit. I can't even tell you how many times, and this is everyone in that works in my field, I guarantee someone has fucking asked them, where it's a family member or a stranger or a friend, what's the craziest call you've ever seen?
Well, it's kind of funny that you say that.
You're gonna do it too, aren't you?
And I was just gonna ask you to share some stories, some like
I don't really see.
I was gonna say go from left to right, as in so. Tell me a story of, like, something that's funny that happens on the field, and then...
I've already told you some funny shit. I mean, the hooker propositioned me.
That is
great. That's
pretty
great.
fucking funny, actually.
That's both funny and happy. It's kind of like, hey, listen, at least I don't have to ask for it, The hooker was going to give me a
You know where to
freebie.
go in case,
Granted, she was not someone I would ever seek out, but hey, fuck, the point is...
the thought, it's the thought that counts.
That's what I mean, right? Exactly. If I'm looking for sex, well, hey, I got this toothless crazy bitch at the side of the street in Lawrence. Like, bam, got it. Perfect. But no,
so I'm not going to ask you what the craziest call is that you see, but
because
like, can you? All right.
Like,
so you've talked about funny shit. Now, and not to bring the podcast to a darker level, but like, because I want people to know that.
I think the call. If you ask most people in this field, it's not the calls that bother them aren't what you would expect.
Really,
most people think that the calls that are going to bother someone is the guy who died on the street corner, or the shooting, or the stabbing,
of course, why
or
not?
the crazy gory calls. Those don't bother us. Like, most people don't bother you.
All right, let me ask you this: is it because it's something you see every day, or every other day?
It's a job. You have an objective. You get there. You can't. You're not.
Obviously, you signed up for it. You know what you're gonna do.
Oh my God, this poor guy. Like, no, I have a fucking just shit. He's not breathing. Make him breathe. Like, it's like you have a job that you just do. You don't have time to be like, I feel so bad for this man. He is dead. Like, no, because I have to make him undead, which is not going to happen. Typically won't happen. But I will, if he's not breathing, I'm going to try my best to see if I can make him breathe. Things like that. So, but the calls I think bother people, at least, I don't know, for me, I guess, I mean, there's different stories in this field. Of course, people are affected differently by all kinds of things. But for me, it's the shitty calls, like the guy who has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, you lose all control of your body, essentially. You still have your mind. You're able to think and process thoughts like a normal human being, but you are trapped in your body. That I did one recently.
No, that I can't even imagine.
Well, I did one recently. I brought a guy to the hospital. He had ALS. You walk in, you see him. He is, he's can barely breathe that well. He's in a mechanical wheelchair. Has barely any movement of his body, and you see pictures of him on the wall, and he looks like this normal, healthy guy. And you look at this person in the chair that you're seeing, and he looks like like a living, breathing skeleton. And it's as morbid as that is to say, but it's
this is exactly what I want to try to portray here.
That's the kind of shit that I think that sucks more than some guy got shot. Great, whatever. Okay, I don't care. I mean, that sounds horrendous to say, but it's a job. You are my objective. I am getting you. Yes, I do care. Of course, I care about. If I didn't care about what I'm doing, I wouldn't do the field, essentially. But it's not like I sit there and I'm going to dwell about that, because there's going to be some call later. Some guy who's having trouble breathing. Some guy has abdominal pain. Some guy doesn't feel safe at home. I don't know. It could be a bunch of stupid things. But the calls that suck are the calls like that, because I think of the people that are affected by it, directly, like family members and
Like the old man
well,
or the old lady.
yeah, that's the worst call. That's actually the worst call I've ever done. And it's
I mean,
not
if you don't mind talking
no,
about it.
I don't. It's the shittiest call I've done, and it sounds crazy because it's to people in my field it would sound like, oh, it's just
Another day at the office.
Well, because it was a cardiac arrest that we went to.
Okay.
Just which I've done plenty of them. It's not that big a deal. It's it's a job.
It's an everyday
it's my
occurrence
job
almost.
It's my and I have you got to have that mentality because it's your fucking job. If you didn't have that mentality, you probably couldn't do the job.
Mm-hmm.
But and we get there, and since it's an old elderly woman, she still has her coat on, like she just came home. We're on like a third floor. And so she's laying on the ground. She's dead. We put her on the. We shocked her. We did CPR. Tried everything we could. Essentially, medics got there. The same thing. And I remember her husband had been on scene, but I wasn't really paying attention because I'm just doing my job when I get there. It's a lot of fast paced stuff. You just kind of, okay, great, do what you can.
Now, is it almost like systematic kind of thing? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's like it's beaten to your brain, like you have step 1, step 2, step 3.
Because if you delay, then you run the risk of actually harming. No, I might say harming a patient, but not prolonging definitive care for a patient.
Yeah, typically
is not great. If they are really sick, they should just get to the fucking hospital.
Now, see, I feel like this would not be a job for me at all because I'm one who. I'm not good with the what ifs, as everyone in this room knows. So I feel like if I was to do something that or didn't do something, I'd be like, what if I did that?
Oh, trust me,
this person still be alive?
You still have the mentality, like, because it's hard.
See, obviously you do a better job at living with that than I do because it eats me up inside.
There are some calls that are going to bother you, and certainly if there are some calls where you think you could have done something differently, that does bother a lot of people in this field. Like, there are calls. I haven't had that because the call that I was talking about, like, ultimately we did what we had to do. We brought her to the hospital. They did what they could. There was not much to be done. She wasn't viable. Her heart was not working.
Yeah, I mean,
we tried what we could to make it work. And
it's the saying: when it's your time, it's your time.
Well, the thing that and that is not what bothers me. The cardiac arrest thing and someone dead doesn't really bother me.
Okay.
What bothers me is the after effect. So we finished the call, and cardiac arrest calls are pretty simple. Typically, it sounds ridiculous, but they are, because you know exactly what you have to do. There's no guesswork. When it comes to a complicated medical, someone doesn't feel well, and but there's a heart problem. But there's this, and you got to do all kinds of crazy things. But someone's dead, they're just dead, and you have a step.
Right. Absolutely.
In our field, there's a step-by-step process. There's no deviations typically from that.
Okay.
Give or take a couple, but so you know what you have to do. You know exactly what your job is. There's no guesswork.
Well, you better know what you're doing.
Right. So, we do everything we got to do. It takes us a lot. Working in cardiac arrest is when you're doing CPR is taxing. It takes a lot out of you. When you're done, you're pretty sweaty and gross. So we get to the hospital and I finished CPR. They ended up calling it. This woman did not survive. Very elderly woman. So I had left the room because someone had come in, and I remember when the nurses were talking, and I guess that was their what was it, their 70th anniversary. The couple had just come home from the 70th anniversary dinner.
So this is the day of.
The day of. They had been married 70 years. They just come home from dinner, and
That's
then
awful.
she collapsed on the floor and died there. So I found that out after the call. So I in the room, and they said that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I walked out, and I remember seeing the man standing there, and he's grabbing his he had a hat with him, like a winter hat, and he's sitting outside the room. We did this in Lawrence. Well, at the hospital there was 3 trauma bay rooms. We brought him here into one of those because it's like their biggest room for cardiac arrest. It makes more sense. So we're in there, and I remember coming out of there, and I'm like, I have gloves on, I'm sweating. I just finished doing CPR on this lady for friggin' how long, and he's this one guy standing out there waiting to see if his wife's okay, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, this guy, like, I don't even know what to say to you because like.
Wait, so did you have to be
I
the
didn't
one...
have to because he didn't ask questions. He just was standing there, and I kind of just... I should have... Like, I feel bad because I feel like I should have said something or But what would I say? The doctor hasn't said anything to the person, so it's not my place to say,
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, because that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
for
I
an
mean,
EMT to come
do you
to
want?
me,
Do you
"I'm very
really want to
sorry,
be the one?
There's
yeah.
no goddamn hope for you now. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's not ever our place to do. That is the doctor's job.
That's so fucking
But
rough.
it felt pretty shitty. It wasn't that I had to, I couldn't save her. It's not that. It's just that, that's someone's wife. That's their fucking anniversary. Jesus Christ! They just came home and now
Like, it
she's
almost
dead.
seems like it couldn't have happened on a worse day.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? And I just felt it just kind of sucks. And those are the calls that actually will stick with someone instead of like someone got shot. Ooh, someone got stabbed. Oh no, someone got in a car accident. It sucks. Like, sure. Those are bad
honestly,
calls
that
and they're
answers
stressful,
that
but
question perfectly, because that's...
I'll never. If you ask some people
Wow.
that you might ask in this field, you ask them what's the shittiest call, and they might be like, "This car accident I did one time. This guy's head came off." Blah blah blah. It's like, look, that's great, but that doesn't bother me. As fucked up as that might
Because
sound,
honestly,
but
that
it doesn't bother me.
it's
Like, it just doesn't.
unfortunate, but that shit...
You should have seen it.
Well, yeah, it's just some people, and now yes, some people in this field will have that mentality, that hero complex, like, holy shit, this was great. This guy was on fire. Like, look, okay, you know what? That's fine and well. That's maybe the goriest call you've done. Fine. It's not like I saw a guy shot in the face. Did it bother me for days after that? No. Why? Because I brought him to the hospital and he was actually still alive.
Wow.
If he is today, who knows? But you got shot. I got shot in the mouth. Look at.
So he's 50 Cent.
Yes, but not 9 times. But those are the calls that don't bother me. It's the calls that it's that collateral damage that you don't think about afterwards. That I like. If you think about it, that's where it kind of fucks you up. Most people in a field just don't think about it, which is it works. 'Cause
Well,
if you go home and you don't care about the family, it's not that you don't care about them and fuck you. It's like, I don't want to care about you.
No,
'cause then I'm going to feel bad, and then I'm going to be like, man, that's depressing.
The way I see it is, it's kind of like a tough skin that you need to have, especially for that field that you're in.
I guess essentially, but you just kind of develop it. A lot of people, when you first start the job, you do some fucked up call in the beginning. We've had people in the past who went to, like, one of their first calls was a hanging, and they couldn't. And
Wait, that was one of your first calls?
no, one of my first calls was. No, not a hang. I've done hang plenty of them, but
Wow. Like, see, that's something I don't think
It's just-
I don't know. Like, for
it's
me,
just
that
another
does.
day,
It
man.
feels
Like, I don't
like
know.
that
'Cause
doesn't
it's
happen
not,
often.
Because that, to me,
but I'm
it's
sure
not,
it does.
It's not, and I don't talk about it because it's not news to me. Like working in Lawrence doing 911. Well, before when we used to do the 911 for Lawrence.
Okay, yeah.
It was just like. Yeah, it didn't happen every single second, but
But
when
it happens
did, you were
more
like, I've already seen it. It's
So
not
let
that great.
me ask you this then: does doing a job like this open your eyes to shit that actually happens that you might not think?
It's a lot.
But like for me, like I say, okay, hangings. I don't feel
You
like that
picture
happens
the
often.
traditional, like the problem is that most people have is they have this preconceived like idea of what we do, and that's a lot thanks to movies and TV and the media and whatever.
Well, yeah,
So
absolutely.
that you get like an idea because what's presented to you is what you see because you don't see the job because you don't do it. So you have this idea of what it is that we do, and it's like, oh yeah, fucking hanging. It must have been gory. It's like, no, he didn't hang himself with barbed wire. He just fucking hung himself because he's just dead. Nothing I can do. Shit. That's it.
All right, so I mean, we've talked about almost everything you probably could think of about
Yeah.
what you do.
Mhm.
Now, to kind of close it out, is there any advice you could give? Because that's kind of obvious. Like I said earlier.
If I could give anyone who's looking to be an ENT advice,
Exactly,
be
there
an
you go.
accountant. No, but no, it's fun. It's a good job to get into. It's a lot of fun. Just go to the gym. I don't mean like you need to be some fucking buff asshole, but just work your back.
Well, I mean,
Be
okay,
an EMT
well, no.
and be okay.
This was also a question I had. Like, what kind of people is it for? Like,
anyone. I mean, it's not like.
So
it's,
is it really for anybody,
It's
though?
not for like. This is only for athletes. No, it's not. God no. If you ever see anyone in EMS, I mean, not pointing fingers, but Jesus Christ. But people should definitely. It's for people that are looking to
it
help
sounds
people.
like it's not for the weak of heart.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so, but it's for people who want to just help people, I guess, essentially. Now, granted, a lot of us, like, along the way might, you might lose sight of that and not that sounds ridiculous, but
No,
it's-
I understand.
a lot of people in this field, because it's long hours, you might get hammered with calls depending on where you work. and what
That's
you
actually
do.
that's something we need to touch about, or touch on rather.
Yeah.
The hours wise, because I know you do
So-
24s
Well,
once or twice a week.
I used to do 2 24s a week, 2
Okay.
24-hour shifts a week, and then that would be it, and it would be great. 48 hours, I'd be done in 2 days.
Yeah. Okay.
But granted, the days after I spent pretty much sleeping, because when we used to have the contract, you were up all night, and that was just how it is.
That must make for a difficult family life.
Well, it's nowadays it's different. Like,
Well, I only say that because
I do 124.
I mean, you're married,
Yeah.
so I mean, you have a life with someone else,
right? I mean, it's not your typical situation, sure, but it's a little different. But I mean, it's, if I have any advice for anyone, just look, prepare for some long hours and get ready for that. You're prepared for a lack of sleep, depending on where you work. You might be in a busy system where you're just not going to sleep. That's how it works. But just keep an open mind, and just, if you want to help people, if that's your ultimate goal, is to just help somebody, then that's a good idea. Then keep that. Even if you get burnt out after doing it for so long, because a lot of people get burnout, which is you just work.
Well, I
you
mean,
work
yeah,
long
obviously, I
hours,
think that almost
you do this
occurs
job
in any
that
profession.
you don't get any recognition for, which doesn't really influence that essentially. But you do a sometimes difficult job. You do it for long hours, and that's it. Yes, you get paid at the end of the week, but sometimes you get burnt out because, like, Jesus Christ, you're doing like 17 calls in a 12-hour period. That's ridiculous.
Now, there's also, from what I know, there's times where you are about to finish your shift in like 15 minutes, but you get a call. You need to respond to that, and that call can last you 2-3 hours,
anything.
right?
It could be 5 minutes. It could be not 5 hours, but it could be 5 minutes. Or it could be an hour long if it's a cardiac arrest.
And it's not
Great.
like you can go
That's
just go
not-
home in the middle of that call.
Right, you have to. You finish the call. You get your report done. You gotta do everything. It's expect to be out late and in early, like whatever.
So this is going out to the spouses of anybody who.
Don't get mad at them.
Yeah, do not get mad
they're
at them.
Probably not going to be home on time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to
Kelly
be the
is shaking
norm.
her head over
Kelly
here,
knows. She knows. It's the
They're
norm.
checking up to the local Motel Inn.
Well, it's just because, like, you might be home like an hour late, 2 hours late. Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, it all depends on how long that call calls. All right, so I mean, we've talked about everything I can kind of think of. You've
I
given,
suppose. My job
you've
is-
given, you've given a lot of insight to exactly what I
It's
was
exciting.
looking to
Don't
do.
be a
Yeah.
hero. That's my job.
Yeah, but so let's kind of lighten the mood a little bit because we kind of went a little dark.
Well,
so.
yeah, my job is kind of
mean-
dark. Well, that sounds fucked up. Don't. That's ridiculous. I'm not like working for like vampires, but it's like it's a cool job. A lot of weird things. It's kind of some fucked up humor.
That's
a lot
what
of fun.
That's what it is. It is what it is.
A lot of fun. That's why I will say that.
So I kind of, like I said, I want to kind of bring in like late night show kind of aspects.
Late night
and
radio. Like that.
My name's Scorch.
Also, I'm just gonna pause for a second. Shout out to the Frit.
Yeah. Oh.
You know who you are. It's my
Oh
boys.
man,
Taking
kind
over
of,
the world
That's
soon.
some underground.
Taking
shit
over the
going
world
right
soon.
now. Are you
Oh,
really?
don't you worry. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know who the Frit is, by the way.
Goddamn
so.
right. It's like secret society shit.
All right. So I tried to
Beyond
think
that.
of as what I could to involve what you do as a job and make a kind of like a fun, funny segment. And this is kind of what I thought of. So I asked you last night to come up with 10 people who you typically would completely hate, despise, loathe. Like basically who you wish would just fall off of the face of the earth, right?
I gave you a pretty good list. I
No,
think.
you gave me a good list, and I'll admit, I
Top of
was
that
a
list is a man I wish would die tomorrow.
I was a little worried that
I don't
you.
wish this upon many people, but this one man I just wish would
I
stop
was a little worried
existing.
that you might not come through with it, but you did.
I did.
But
It
you
just-
did.
Well, I was working 24 yesterday, so
Oh, okay,
when I
that's
got your
what-
text
all
message,
right.
I was kind of like, oh, I didn't finish it yet. So I finished it at like 4 in the morning.
All right. Well,
But-
no, there's a very good reason why, and we're going to find out right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have a hat right here.
Yep. I'm not even sure what this is going to
This
be.
is a very nice top hat.
That is an Abe Lincoln top hat.
It is an Abe Lincoln top hat. Top hat. Wow.
Top hat. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that.
All right, and within this hat, there's 10 names.
Yep.
Now, you are an EMT. You save lives. The first question is, if, not even if, the situation is you are on call and you are brought to a situation where you have to save somebody. You have one person to save, but you have to save somebody.
Out of the 10 whole
Out
names?
of the 10 names. As these people...
Am I picking the names and just going, nope?
No. You're picking 2 people out of this hat. And out of the 2 people you pick, there's 2 burning buildings. You have to choose basically the lesser of 2 evils.
Oh, that's easy. Well,
it depends on who you pick.
I picked everyone I hate, so that's actually not so easy.
Exactly, and I want you to tell me why.
And just for the public to know,
who you're saving?
Kanye West was not one of the ones I picked.
I know. I'm very surprised.
I had him there. I had him and Chad Kroger, and I erased them both because I was like, you know what? Look, I hate Chad Kroger, but everyone fucking hates Chad Kroger. Even Chad Kroger probably hates Chad Kroger. The man even knows everyone hates him, so he's not even hate worthy. So I just erased him. And then Kanye West, I was like, well, everyone fucking hates Kanye West. I feel like if I didn't kill him, someone else would. That I don't have to worry about it.
So this is a difficult decision here. There's 2 burning buildings, and you, as of your job, have to save somebody.
I'm picking.
All right, here we go. 2 names.
I got 1. I got 2.
All right.
First name. Kris Jenner. I already know exactly what's going to happen on this one. Second name, Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, all right. So
let me
building on the right has Kirsten Dunst on it, and then Jennings on the second.
All right. Well, building on
left.
the right, Kirsten Dunst. I hate her really just because she sucks. I'm sorry. That is a very broad statement, but everything she does sucks. She sucks at acting. She's a fucking shitty douchebag person from what I've fucking seen and heard and whatever. So, and generally I look at her face and I'm like, I just don't like you. I don't know what it is. I just don't like you. Fuck you. So, okay, so that's building on the right. Great. Now, building on the left is Kris Jenner. Now, that building I hope is burning very fast because I fucking hate that woman more than anyone that I could possibly hate as a female. And that is not sexist. I just fucking hate her as a human being. She's a shitbag. She's a fucking douchebag. She capitalized on her daughter's sex tape. I don't think her daughter's that great anyways because Kim Kardashian can... Well, I was going to say suck a dick, but we all know that. So, you know what? Kim Kardashian sucks. Yes. Whatever. But... their whole family has capitalized on the only fact that their daughter had sex with a rapper and became famous.
That is actually really true.
The only reason their family was even recognizable is because her dad was a lawyer for O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, that is
fine.
You can't deny that.
And rest in peace, But their whole that woman is literally a snake. Cannot stand her. Hate her. Absolutely hate her. If she got hit by a bus tomorrow, I would be there being like, fucking, who's going to pay for the front of this bus? Fuck this bitch. I hate, oh, God, I hate her. Anyways.
So, here's the situation. You're on call.
Where's this going to go? Let's
You're an
find
EMT.
out. Yep.
Building right or building left?
Now, see, as an EM, my professional response would be simply, I'm going to wait for the fire department to rescue her. Because I can't go into a burning building.
So, but you need to play superhero.
Put me in the scenario when I am in fucking Buzz Lightyear EMT and I have a spacesuit and a fucking fire hydrant built to my right arm and I get Mega Man and put shit out. Fine. Kirsten Dunst all day. Why? Because she drowns on her own career. I don't have to worry about it. Fuck the bitch. You know who I would let burn, and I would honestly probably throw grenades in there and maybe light her on fire some more if she wasn't burnt quite enough, is Kris Jenner. Because fuck her. Fuck everything about her. I hate her. I hope she fucking gets hit by a bus, and then when they pick her up off the ground, she gets hit by another bus.
I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't as difficult of a decision as I was hoping it would be.
See, if there were different names, it might have been harder. But when I saw Kris Jenner, I was like, I know exactly how this is gonna go because fuck her. She literally, I wrote her. I gave you that list, and I typed her name down, and I was like, this is the one person I will kill. Her and Bill Maher. I don't know if anyone else likes Bill Maher or hates Bill Maher. I know Hannah hates Bill Maher. If Hannah's listening to this, I know you hate Bill Maher. Fuck Bill Maher. He's a piece of shit. He's fucking got one goddamn fucking one biased ass opinion about everything else. It's just fucking I hate everything he stands for. He's a piece of shit. Even if I agree with like political views that he might have about things like gun control. Okay. All right. Let's not get controversial because I have no interest in being involved in politics.
Let's not do that. Especially on the first episode. Let's not do that.
But gun control in particular, I have an interest in it because I happen to own some guns. And, and I think that, yes, we should have the freedom to own guns. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Should there be some sort of control on completely automatic weapons? Probably. Fuck. I mean, should there be a psyche eval, which I think they've put in place essentially.
Really?
Well, it's... I don't know if that's in everywhere, but I haven't even looked into it that hard. But at least not in New Hampshire.
At least something you've heard about.
New Hampshire's free as shit, so who knows? You can buy a gun as long as you live here. But
this is true. This is very true.
But as far as the psyche eval, if you want to buy a weapon, I think what is the problem with that? Yes, it's an extra step. Yes, it's not what it's not what was written when the Constitution was written. But the Constitution didn't have people mowing down groups of kids in fucking preschool or elementary school. That didn't happen when the country was founded. So if that had, they might have been like, maybe we should make this mandatory too. Like, fuck yeah, all right, great. That, to me, doesn't seem... And I support gun rights, but that doesn't seem like such a big sacrifice that you're just you gotta go get cleared by a psychiatrist. Well, if you feel that you are fine, then what do you have to worry about? Right?
You are absolutely correct.
Thank you. Like, just go fucking do it. Shut the hell up. If the government pays for it, because it's a mandatory... Well, I don't know if that's a hard battle to win, but, like... If you have to do it to get a gun, your entire purpose is you want to get a gun for whatever goddamn reason you have. It doesn't matter what your reasoning is, but you want to get cleared by you have to get cleared by a psychiatrist. Then just go do it.
Yep.
Go do it. If you're psychotic, they'll tell you so, and then that is it. Sorry, motherfucker, you can't get a gun. I'm sorry. You wanted to go shoot a hospital. Well, looks like you can't own a gun today. My apologies. Suck one.
With that said,
yes. Now, like I said, I have no interest in getting on political topics.
No. Hey, that was just enough.
Because that is a battle that will last forever.
Oh God, I'm sure we pissed at least 10 people off.
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
far.
No, I'm sure. People like you get those like the.
I mean, that's if even 10 people are listening.
Right-wing nuts that are like fucking guns about right. God damn it, I was born in America. I'm like, okay, sorry, I get it, but just relax.
I have to ask, how does it feel to be like the celebrity of the night right now?
You call me a celebrity?
I'm calling you a celebrity.
Fuck.
I mean, you got the A on your sweatshirt right now. I mean,
well, that's because this is a Patrice Bergeron jersey sweater, and if no one knows, he's the alternate captain to the Boston Bruins, and probably one of the best players in NHL history as far as overall knowledge of the game and just how brilliant he is. I'm gonna just...
That's definitely another thing. I'm gonna do a sports analyst thing,
yes,
especially when the playoffs come around.
I'll be your hockey man.
You and Mac, who you will eventually meet. Eventually, people. You guys, we'll do like a roundtable discussion and definitely speak about sports and especially hockey. And that should be a good one. But moving on. So that was the first question. Okay, I have more names because I asked for 10 from you, right? Where's the hat? There it is.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
So the next question is, now, again, this goes...
different questions.
Oh yeah, I
thought I was just going to kill everyone in the hat. Which is honestly why I picked all of them. I was like, I'm just going to kill everyone here, right? Because that's all I care about.
No. This one's a little different. I honestly was
like, I figured you were going to make me pull hats out and be like, fuck, kill Mary.
I mean, I'm pretty creative at times, but this time I kind of failed. I could only come up with 2 questions. So we might, we're going to have to repeat the same 2 questions like once or twice. But still, I mean, this one's pretty good. All right, so now you are the employer, and you have 2 people interviewing to basically become your partner, and you have to pick one. You were told from the powers that be, you have to pick one of these 2 people from your list of 10. And this person is going to become your partner and do 24s with you, do however long your shifts are throughout the entire week. This person is going to become your partner.
Excuse me.
So, basically, You hire one and deny one. So please pick 2 more names. And we have
Bill Maher.
Oh,
It's too bad it wasn't an option to kill. Michael Bay. Yeah. Well,
shit.
I don't like Michael Bay because he does fucking
Let's just face it. He ruined the fucking Ninja Turtles.
He fucking ruined fucking everything.
Yeah, if you're listening, Michael Bay, which you're not, fuck you.
He ruined
End of story.
Trilogy.
I saw that movie and it was terrible.
I mean, I told you.
Yes, you did.
Said,
but
listen,
I
said,
still
listen,
need.
they're gonna ruin our childhood.
I still needed to see it though.
I
That's
was
the
gonna
thing.
go. There was a point where I said I'm gonna go see it because it's Ninja Turtles and I'm gonna go watch it. And then I saw another trailer and I was like, this fucking guy is like, you know what it was? It was the fucking the major trailer that came out. And with every other Michael Bay movie in the history of Michael Bay movies, there seems to be a fucking need for dubstep music, like dubstep sound. Like there's like a thing collapsing. I'm like, wow, and I was like, okay, Michael Bay, look at that, surprise, surprise, like Jesus Christ, like explosions everywhere. Someone else died. Oh no, this is the entrance. Like I hate him. He ruined Transformers because he brought in those stupid ass ghetto. Gold tooth, racist as fuck Transformers, brought those little goddamn things into there. Like, everything he does has an explosion.
Which is funny because I didn't exactly hate them.
Oh, I fucking hated it so much. So Michael Bay would, as much as I don't like him, I dislike Bill Maher that much more. Now, you just heard me talk about Michael Bay like he was the worst person on earth.
Now, please.
Bill Maher.
Now,
Now, see, the thing is, I can't even really divulge into how much I don't like Bill Maher. But his one-sided bullshit views just anger me so much. It's you know what it is? Okay, if I could say one word and not have to really, if I can avoid going into such crazy detail, because I don't even know what I would say one word about him, and that sums it up completely for me, is ignorance.
Okay.
Everything about him screams fucking ignorance. I hate that man. Till the end of the earth, I hate that man. Everything about, even if it's a topic that I agree with his acquired views on the topic, like I still hate him. Will not ever like him ever because he's a piece of shit douchebag, and that's just how he is. I wish he would get hit by a bus that was on the front of the bus had a bunch of spiked baseball bats, and he would get impaled somehow. By baseball bats. That sounds ridiculous.
That's
honestly,
pretty heavy.
It would be great. It would be great because then he would get hit by the bus, and then that bus would get head-on collision with another bus, and then there'd be no Bill Maher, and my life would be better. It's fine. I don't wish death. See, I don't know. I don't wish death upon anybody. I never say I wish Bill Maher would die tomorrow. I won't do that.
Oh, okay.
However, if he were to get hit by a bus, he might survive. I don't know. But if that bus were to get hit by another bus. You don't know that he might also survive. I don't know this. I can't wish death upon him, but if this were to happen, I wouldn't cry. You know what I mean? I would not be upset because Bill Maher got hit by 2 buses and became the jelly in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I would not cry about it. It would be okay with me.
I have officially just lost all Bill Maher fans, but that's okay because that conversation just was more entertaining than probably any other conversation I'm going to hear in the next few weeks or months. So, continue, please. So now, the scenario is, you need to hire one of these people, and they are going to become your partner, and basically, the person who sticks by your life, your professional life, for the next for the foreseeable future.
Okay. Out of the 2, well, it'll be Michael Bay.
Well, I have a feeling you were going to pick him. I mean,
if that was an indication. But at least with Michael Bay, I could walk into a room and everything behind me would blow up. And that'd just be really cool. Or like I could get out of an ambulance, let's say like I was in an ambulance, going to a call, and I jump out, and the ambulance keeps rolling. I'm on scene with bags in the hand, I look like a fucking hero. I'm not a hero, by the way. And then the ambulance blows up. Now that might sound counterproductive. It sure as shit might be counterproductive, but it looks cool as shit because I have Michael Bay next to me just being like, I got it. blows the whole ambulance up. It was great. I look like a goddamn hero. I feel like Chicago Fire can suck a dick. I got this. Like, but it looks cool.
The Chicago Fire reference comes back full circle.
God, fuck that show so much. But at least I look cool. You know, hey, my ambulance blew up, but I got a couple bags in my hands, and I look pretty cool. So
All right. Well, okay. So because, like I said, I wasn't that creative this time around, we're gonna recycle the first question because we have a couple more names left in the hat. So now 2 burning buildings, 2 more names.
Okay, so what if one building was with napalm, like it wouldn't stop burning, and the other one they might put out?
No,
I may hate both people.
You still need to save one.
But who really dies? You know, who knows?
Who knows? All right, here we go.
Is that an okay scenario?
I mean,
like napalm doesn't stop burning, one fire stops burning. So it's like I can really hate somebody, but not. Ooh, first name's Madonna.
Oh,
God, I hate her so much. Her bucktoothed dumb bitch. And Kim Kardashian.
Oh, wow. It comes full circle with her, too.
Now, let's just go over it. Now, okay, I'm going to preface this by saying this may sound sexist. So all the females out there who are feminists, listen, I support you.
Just stop the podcast right now. Just hit stop.
No, they don't even have to. I support feminism, absolutely.
Okay.
You should absolutely be able to get the same opportunities as a man with a dick has.
No, which I completely agree with.
There's no reason why I should get something that she shouldn't, that some females shouldn't get. You know,
okay,
absolutely.
all right, good. Yeah, all right.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on the same page.
Those extremist females, feminists, I don't agree with because they're even assholes to feminists. That's fucked up. But so if I had to kill one of those two, it would probably be Madonna. Now, this isn't because
let's see. Now that surprises me.
The traditional response would be, well, that's because you've seen Kim Kardashian's ass. You just want to fuck her. Well, look, okay, yeah, I would fuck her. Now, would I have sex with her because?
Now, wait, you're just saying that because your wife has left the room at this point.
No, I would say it with her in here, and she would understand. I'm not saying as a married man I would go out on. Am I going to take a flight to L.A.? On the town and then be like, well, where's Kim Kardashian? She must want to have sex with a paramedic from Salem, New Hampshire. Absolutely. Like, no, clearly not. So this is a completely hypothetical scenario where I would say, okay, if I was a single man and Kim Kardashian was in front of me, would I favor her versus Madonna? Sure. Why? Because there's so many things about Madonna that I don't like. Kim Kardashian got famous because she had sex with a black man on camera at a hotel. Wonderful. Good for you.
It's the Paris Hilton scenario all over again.
Right. It's like, I don't care about your life. Nothing about you interests me. I don't think Kim Kardashian's an interesting person. No. Not whatsoever. Not even in the slightest bit. Even if she made an app that apparently has 41,000 people going, this is the greatest app ever. You can shop for heels.
What?
Yeah, I saw that on the
I haven't heard about that yet.
I saw it in the App Store. It was like recommended because I was scrolling through, like, I was just looking for some, a game to play or something. I was bored. And it's like, Kim Kardashian's shopping bullshit extravaganza. And I'm like, this many people give it 5 stars. Really?
It's only for her name alone.
I know. She didn't actually make it, which is fine.
No, it's not even that. Like, people gave it 5 stars just because it says Kim Kardashian.
But as far as Madonna goes, I can't. One of the things I really don't like in life is where people strive to be something they used to be and need to stop. Madonna has not been relevant since the 90s, early 90s. Then she stopped being relevant altogether. All of a sudden she came back. She was like, I made a video where I wear fucking some cowboy stupid looking outfit. Everyone's like, wow, Madonna. Oh my God. You still have a set of teeth that I could park like an 18-wheeler in between. Now, that is not saying that, you know what, looks are all that matter. No. I just stop trying to be relevant. You're old. Now, should you not make music? I'm not saying that. But don't make the music that you used to make now, because it doesn't apply now. Stop. The hopelessness.
So can we call that the Motley Crue syndrome?
Oh my God, yes. Thank you. Motley Crue. Fucking hell. Anyways,
who are we employing to be your partner?
Out of Madonna or Kim Kardashian? Kim Kardashian.
So now we're going to do one more employee.
Sick that day.
If you were lucky, but your luck
I'm like,
doesn't.
oh, jeez, I can't come in. They're both dying.
All right, so
Yep.
One more. So we're gonna do the employee one more time.
Oh boy.
And here we go. He's picking.
Wait, there are 4 names in here still.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. We're just gonna end with this 2 and 2.
First name, Rick Ross. Oh boy.
Shit.
Second name, Gwyneth Paltrow. This is a one-sided affair, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just explain that. So this was the employment one? Like,
Yes.
Which one would I have as a
So
partner?
you
Which
had
one
to
would I-
stick by this person almost like all week long. 24 hours on a couple of occasions. Overtime.
Done. Rick Ross.
Wow.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Really?
Gwyneth Paltrow is a terrible human being.
Now-
terrible human being.
Now, why would you say that, Steve?
Like, have you
why
seen
would
anything
you say
she's
that?
done? Like, the things that she says in like to just anywhere to anyone is the most outlandish bullshit asshole thing you could ever think of. And you're like, wow, you're a fucking piece of shit. Why does anyone work with you? Why do they do it? Like, I just Robert Downey Jr. Like, how do you do it, man? These Iron Man movies, you still have to put up with this bitch. Fuck that. She's an asshole. Wow. She named her kid Apple. Apple. A fucking piece of fruit.
Gwyneth Paltrow, gone.
Yep.
Oh,
Rick Ross
so
will be the winner.
Fired. Rick Ross is
He's
your partner.
dumb as shit. I hate him as a rapper. I think he's terrible. However, I could be alright with him.
All right, all right.
See, he won't name his kid a pear. He just happens to like pears.
No, he'll just name his son
His
Nike
last-
because he's all about Nike.
That's fine.
All right.
But I'll take Rick Ross.
Me and you, we share a couple passions, but one of them is alcohol and the mixology of alcohol. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people would call us alcoholics. However,
I call
I was-
myself an enthusiast,
exactly. Thank
an
you.
alcohol enthusiast, or an appreciator.
That's exactly how I see it too.
That's I give myself a nice sounding name. It's not alcoholic. It's appreciator.
I don't know, what is it? Why would you call us enthusiasts? Now, I have a hard time explaining that. Maybe you
I'm
have a better.
enthusiastic about alcohol. Like, I have nothing else to say. I happen to quite enjoy alcohol. Like, I do. Now, do I spend every day and every moment drinking booze? No.
No,
when I do-
that's me, not you.
Well, see, but when I don't even think you. No, you don't.
No,
either.
I really
like,
don't.
You are
So
fully,
many people
you're a
though.
fully functioning.
So
adult.
many fucking people think I'm an alcoholic. It's
Because
not
we-
even
because,
funny.
Okay, the interests in my life happen to include things that are really just basic: alcohol, fucking.
See, they think I'm an alcoholic because I
cars,
come home.
guns. I guess I don't know.
I
you
come
know?
home and and I have a glass of whiskey a night.
But like, if I come home and I happen to be like, look, I pour myself a glass of bullet bourbon and I happen to quite enjoy it.
Bullet bourbon, by the way. Yes.
My favorite bourbon, personally. If you have every other bourbon in the world, you know what? Keep it. But bullet bourbon is fantastic. Yeah, I'd never throw bourbon away unless it's like Dickel whiskey, which we can all do without, or like
That or Bird Dog. Fuck
well,
Bird
no,
Dog.
see,
Seriously.
Bird Dog, like all right,
No, it's way too syrupy.
well,
too
that's the
syrupy.
problem. Is I don't do flavored whiskey very well.
Now, what is it about the whole mixology thing that gets us so? I mean, for me, I just like something that tastes good, and I look at I look at myself as kind of like a cook, but with liquid. I like to create something that tastes good for other people. I don't know. That's for me. How do you look at it?
Well, that's essentially my goal. It's not when I make something, I don't.
Now, let me say this. I have been to Steve's place many of the times, and his drinking making abilities are quite good.
Well, that I appreciate.
I mean, seriously,
I
I have not had a bad drink that you have made.
Well, I try to do, because I don't know. Okay, for instance, let's just bring up an example. Long Island iced tea. That's a drink that
and that's obviously everything
have
I
enjoyed
sorry,
for-
the only thing I seem to ask for.
Well, that's something I, as well as you, have enjoyed for a long time. It's been a favorite of mine.
Fuck
Now,
yeah.
it started out as a woman's drink. Now, does
Really?
It did. When it was no. The best part about Long Island
See,
is
this
that no one actually
this
knows.
is great. These are the conversations I want
Well,
because that I didn't know at all.
The best thing about a Long Island is that no one actually knows who fucking created a Long Island. No one really knows the
Really?
man who created. There was no like literal actual mixologist or bartender or creator of the drink. It just happened to be a thing, and it was mentioned so many goddamn times because it's delicious. Now, I love it, but now if you ask a lot of people, traditionally speaking, when they make a Long Island, most are going to use bottom barrel ingredients.
Well, yes, is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be almost
shit,
like trash can or like house-made shit.
Yeah, like you could fucking Comet, fucking some other liquid cleaner. Hey, Long Island. But it's for me. If I make one for myself, maybe it's just because I'm picky, but I am not going to use bottom of the barrel ingredients. I'm going to use great shit. So I will use, instead of triple sec, I'll put Cointreau or Grand Marnier is a special sipping ingredient. I won't use that very often, but it's usually Cointreau in place of that for the orange liqueur. Vodka, I'll use a premium vodka. Tequila, I'll use a very good tequila. A rum, I'll use a better rum.
Isn't that why we call it, instead of a Long Island, we call it a Long Dong Steven?
Well, yeah, that was a name created. Well, that actually was created because that wasn't really the Long Island. That was.
Oh wait, don't you add whiskey to that too?
Well, the Long Dong Steve is coined a phrase coined by some friends of mine who I got slammered.
It's because I took a Long Island. Are we talking about the frit?
I made it.
Are we talking about the frit?
Well, this is some people in the frit may know what I'm talking about, but it was created because I took a Long Island and I decided to add too many ingredients to it, to which it I mean I don't know if you remember, but when my cousin Alex was over, got a little fucked up. He was very, very.
We're gonna talk about those times.
Honestly,
I see that you're wearing.
It's a crippling drink.
I see we're wearing sunglasses from your wedding. I mean, I remember that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Do you remember your wedding?
I do. I remember everything except up until the point where I started doing shots. Now the ceremony was beautiful. It was great. It was perfect.
Yeah. I wasn't there for that.
Well,
because,
it was we didn't want to make it too
I'm just giving you
fucking
shit.
Crazy formal. Because for fans it's like yeah, just give me the booze. So when the open bar started, it was kind of like
yes, just so people know, he had an open bar.
Yeah.
So that means open bar for the guest as well as Steve over here.
I had no intention of being...
Well, here's the problem. Everybody wanted to have a shot with you.
Every single time I turn around, there's a new shot. And okay, a guy just got married. He's happy. He's high on life. He's not going to refuse a shot.
Oh,
He's just going to take it and be like,
I think me and you had at least 3 shots of Doc 57.
And there was more than that with everything else.
Oh, yeah. So, that was just me and you. 3 right there.
At one point, I had 3 pairs of sunglasses on at the same time. I
think that picture's still around somewhere, actually.
And be like, okay, you know what? Maybe some water is in your near future. No one did.
But the problem was there was somebody who was definitely in favor for you to keep on having a good time. And of course, to you, that sounded perfect because you're like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome now.
Well, I mean, hey, fuck, I'm drunk.
And by the way, that person wasn't me because everyone's going to assume that was me. No, that wasn't me.
No, yeah, it wasn't you.
No.
I know it wasn't you. But I was drunk and I was loving it. Now, did I regret it later on? Of course. The next day, I felt like a piece of shit.
And especially
my wife nothing was formal about this wedding.
No,
everyone thinks about a wedding. They're gonna think what I'm talking about is like some super formal wedding with like the father-daughter dance and the couple eats dinner. And
no, I can attest to this.
I did not want that at all.
No,
so
nothing was formal about this.
As soon as the fucking reception started taking place, bam, the garage doors open on this beautiful ass garage they have, and look at that, the DJ and the fucking and everything's all inside.
I mean, it was so informal to the fact that after you guys got married, Kelly changed. She was not in her gown.
She was not. She wanted to put on comfortable clothes, which
exactly.
I absolutely agree with.
I think it was maybe 20 minutes afterwards.
Oh, it wasn't 20. Well, it wasn't 20 minutes after. Okay. She still, because they were still technically doing when we were. There was the people were sitting down still and eating and all that stuff, and I had a whole plate of food, and I took a couple bites, and then it was like, "Schnapp, do a shot," and that was the last time I saw that plate. And so, then I did some shots, some more shots, and just shots upon shots upon shots. And I ended up in the bathroom floor throwing up everywhere.
Yeah, that suit is no longer in
That
existence,
suit
is it?
no longer, and it was a great fucking suit. It was tailored too.
I
was
know.
so bullshit. I was so pissed at myself.
You have talked about tailored suits for as long as I can remember.
That's all I want
and you
in
finally
life.
got one, and you fucking threw up all over it.
That's all I want in life is to just have a bunch of tailored suits. To just be a man who wears like blazers and some nice jeans and a nice pair of shoes, and not just. I may look pretentious like an asshole, but I may feel like a great person wearing this goddamn outfit. However, I had a tailored suit. It looked great. It looked fantastic. It wasn't Armani, but I'll let it slide. But, and then, I got sick and vomited all over it because, I'm a fucking mess. But it was a good time. The parts that I remember and the parts that I've seen on camera are great.
Oh, that's right. You do kind of
some
live,
pictures.
live vicariously
We had a
through.
photo booth.
I have many of those pictures, by the way.
There are quite a few that are very, very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You have some interesting ones.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about those.
Can I see those? I never saw them.
I honestly don't even know where they are.
Unreal. I'd be like fucking exgirlfriends.com. No, I wouldn't do that. That's a horrible thing to do to people. But
Do you even know what an ex-girlfriend is? For real. You've been with Kelly since you were 14.
I had ex-girlfriends, but you're man. Did you even? Would you like one? No one can see him, but this is Greg. Greg will be on some sessions in the future.
Yes.
The wedding.
Yeah.
Let's sum it up. I had a great time. What I remember, because I don't remember a whole lot. The rest of my friends do. So, it was a good time, and I'm married, and I have a beautiful wife, and she doesn't hate me. So hey, all right.
So we've talked about things about drinks and alcohol, and how we're alcoholics. But what is it, in your opinion? What makes a good drink?
What makes a good drink? That's a hard question. I mean, good ingredients, I guess. Good knowledge of what you're doing. Like,
see, then that's where the mixology of it comes in.
Well, that's the problem that I have. It's like I can go to bartending school.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. For people who are listening,
can
he
easily
is honestly probably the best bartender I have ever met. But the best bartender who isn't a bartender.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And I won't claim to be like, there are bartenders out there and mixologists and people who will do some flashy ass shit that I don't do because I don't know.
But see, that's funny because I would sum that up into like almost anything. That's like wrestling. There's people who do flashy ass shit.
No, but
it really isn't. Is it that good?
I don't think that I'm that efficient. Now, do I make a good drink? Sure. Do I carefully get my ingredients together to make a good drink? Yes. But am I fast efficient like some bartenders are? No, because you look at a lot of them, like a lot of your world-class bartenders, like granted, they prep their ingredients beforehand, like their lime wedges and all that other bullshit.
Yeah, but that to me,
but the technique that they use is what I actually would love to be able to adapt. Now that takes a lot.
All right, so technique is something that you don't have, that you think you lack, that you would like.
I do think that I lack because it takes a lot of practice. Because you look at what they do now, a lot of them, and now I happen to, for instance, most bartenders won't use anything but a Boston shaker.
Okay.
Why? I mean, I guess there's plenty of reasons why, but there are normal shakers you can buy.
So what's the difference between a Boston shaker and a regular shaker?
You have your regular aluminum bottom.
Okay.
And you have it's a bar glass.
Yeah.
Your typical big, like thick glass kind of bar glass, and it fits inside of that actual aluminum glass, I guess you would call it, but it's not actually glass. And so that it's a 2-piece kit. Now most shakers you buy a traditional shaker, it's got a top. That top has a strainer, and the strainer has a cap, and people pour it, shake it, pour the cap, and then strain it. You know what I mean?
I've seen you do that.
Now,
yeah, okay.
I've had those before. I prefer a Boston shaker any day of the week. Now, why? There's probably an actual scientific reason if you think about actual mixology towards it, but for me I just happen to like that. It's just much more fun because I take an actual strainer and you take the bar glass off, put the strainer on, hold it, you pour the whole thing, use like a real strainer, that you put on. It's like a separate piece you put on top of the glass, and it's like a separate whole thing. It's more, to me, it's more involved. I feel more. It sounds ridiculous, but I feel more in touch with what I'm doing.
No, I bet any real cook would explain.
You feel more involved
sympathize
with
with
what you're doing. I guess if that's any way I can describe it, it's because I'm not going to ever claim to be some master mixologist, some master bartender.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I make the drinks that I like to drink. I will try. I will look into every way to make them and try.
See. For me, I feel like when it comes to mixing drinks...
I'm very precise, though. I'm not... But the problem is being so precise is I'm not super efficient at speed. Because I haven't really... I don't work in a bar, so I don't have to do
here's the
speed,
thing, though. Like,
so
it's almost like when it comes to... When it comes to alcohol, when it comes to mixing... Ignorance is almost bliss, where when you don't know what's right and what's wrong, you can experiment. And you know what? That's the thing. Like, I really don't want to try to bring it into this realm, but when it comes, the same thing with music. When I was 16, when I started writing music, I didn't know what was right, what was wrong, but what I knew sounded good. It was just like, oh, this could be wrong, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyways.
The thing, like, with that is, like, you can put a bunch of fucking crazy ingredients into one glass and drink it and be like, yeah, I can drink this. And now that could easily be your mentality of like, I made this. So that's true. Now that doesn't,
and that's where making it for somebody else comes in.
But that might help your brain go, yeah, this is fucking fine. My taste buds enjoy this because I fucking made it.
But then again, 5 other people may be like, that tastes like fucking
that's the
cow
thing.
manure.
For me, is I want to make a drink that is going to be fucking stellar. It's going to knock people off it. No, okay, that sounds ridiculous. I'm not trying to be some fucking crazy master bartender.
Yeah.
I'd work on Spike TV. I wish, but
you need to talk to the other Steve for that one.
Well, the people that like do that, like that's who I would envy essentially, because like I look to make a drink and I look to make it right, but what I would strive to do, mixology. I'm like splitting topics here, but
yeah,
I strive to be better at what I do. Now that requires me to get the finesse and the speed and the things that I don't do at home, because I'm not a master bartender working at a bar where I have to be fast.
Yeah, we're definitely not employed to do this.
So I make drinks at home for people, like 6 people.
Yeah,
not that hard. So, but for me, is that to be a mixologist, you have to be a good bartender, yes, but what you also have to be is incredibly knowledgeable at the finer things about liquor. Now, that doesn't mean, does tequila go with vodka? Yeah, okay, maybe in like a couple of drinks, but what you have to know is the flavors. Now, you can take a coffee liqueur and like it's the anisette. There's a bunch of different flavors that are involved. Like certain whiskeys are not good with certain things. Like it's
like I've heard dark alcohol goes better with dark sodas. Like, so, like a dark rum is better with like a Coke.
That's like a lot of your sugar content. Like rum is very, very sugary because it's sugar cane it's made with it. So
see, and it amazes me. You know this stuff, and I don't, and I need to like figure this shit out.
It's not like it's hard to know because there's a lot.
You're right. It's not hard to know.
Stuff. I'm not going to claim to be some.
You can almost Wikipedia this shit and figure it out.
Like essentially,
I just haven't done that yet.
And I won't claim to be some crazy. The thing that I am most passionate about is whiskey. Because of its American heritage. Well, no.
Fucking amen to that.
Because of its American heritage, how it was like like moonshine.
Yeehaw, by the way.
Moonshine became a thing because they outlawed whiskey. Now, is
that real?
Well, no, it was not whiskey in general, but it was prohibition. Okay. So whiskey was a popular thing before prohibition. So when prohibition came a thing, you couldn't get alcohol.
You couldn't get the alcohol you wanted.
So it was like, well, okay, fuck, man, I want some booze. Like I want to fuck. So you think about it. If someone was like, here's some great fucking alcohol, all of a sudden like, cut off. Sorry, fuck you. You're like, well, okay, whoa. I'm gonna make it anyways, and they found a way. Now the way they did it was almost it's genius. Now, is there better ways to do it now than using a pot still and the shit they did? Yeah,
A little bit
in
more
the middle
sanitary,
of the fucking
shall we
forest.
say,
Yeah,
right?
but they did it, and then what they made was probably pretty fucking harsh, but it got you fucked up. And it got you drunk. Now, I respect that. I love that.
Okay.
Now, to me, that is a lot of the heritage of American whiskey, where that kind of comes from. Now, there was whiskey before that. Most of it was imported before that Prohibition kind of came.
Yep.
A lot of it was imported before that, because you started out in like Scotland, and it wasn't like a super American thing. It was kind of just came over here. There's debate on where it started. There's a big debate. There's always going to be a debate, just like there's a debate on how whiskey is spelt.
Really? That's new to me.
W-I-S-K-Y or E-Y. This is the Y generation and the E-Y generation. There's a
I have
big
never
debate
heard of
on
that.
There would be, that's like a
That's
worldwide.
so fascinating.
It's spelt both ways. Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I just care about how it tastes.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm with you on that one.
So, yeah, but so I love the heritage of whiskey, and I love the taste. I love what it incorporates. Now, when it comes to making alcohol, if you think about it in just I want a martini, okay, that's great. But when you think about what it comes to make what you're getting,
Okay.
I personally want top shelf material. Why? Not because I'm picky, not because I think I'm fucking special, because I know, at least I've done enough research to know if I can pick what I want, I know what has gone into what I'm getting, you know?
Well, of course.
So,
yeah.
like, okay, Bullet, for instance.
Oh yes, Bullet. Yeah.
My favorite whiskey to date. My favorite bourbon. It's a bourbon whiskey. They have a bourbon, they have a rye, but it's frontier whiskey. It was made in the frontier period, which is like that is the most American goddamn period you can think of.
Yep.
So like, that is the West. Like, and the guy in the family recipe was actually lost. Yeah, at one point, because he was transporting the guy. I forget his name, but essentially the Bullet family recipe was being transported. He used to sell his whiskey, make it, bring it to whoever sell it. At one point, he was never seen again, so they had assumed that he had been killed.
Okay.
Transporting his whiskey, because that was a dangerous time. Like, you could just be hit by bandits. There aren't cops. There aren't cameras.
This fascinates me. The
Well,
fact that
in the old days,
like the fact that you know this stuff.
Well, I've read a lot about it, and then you can read a lot about this just by, honestly, their website has this information.
Okay.
But I was so intrigued because I enjoyed their whiskey so much that I was like, I want to know more about them. So I went on and looked.
and this is why I've come to you to talk about this
And
stuff.
I'm not the authority, but I do look up the history.
Well, whatever
behind
you say,
whatever.
Triple H.
No, I am not. I look up the history behind things, and so I had looked up the history, and essentially the family recipe would, after that incident happened, where they never saw him again. They never found his body,
Yep.
nothing. So they just assumed that he had been killed by bandits, and that was it, and whatever. So the family recipe was like thought to be lost, but they essentially had found either a version of it or whatever they have you years later. And so Bullet Bourbon all of a sudden became a thing again.
Wait, so he was killed?
Oh yeah, well they never saw him again. So yeah, essentially I would imagine killed. But they had found either a recipe or they had done enough throughout the years to eventually develop the recipe that they knew. But his family essentially started it up again.
Okay.
Like ancestors. This is crazy. This is like great grandsons that are doing this now. That to me is amazing.
All for the love of alcohol.
Because you know what? A whiskey to me, alcohol is an art.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds like a great statement from an alcoholic, but it is. I feel like it's an actual art to be able to perfect a beverage in a way.
Hey, you want to talk about alcohol and being a bad thing, but what was the main thing? If you want to go back to like the Bible and go back to the the New
No,
Testament.
please, wine has been around forever.
Exactly what I'm
We've
saying.
been
What did Jesus turn water into?
We have been drunks for years. Like, let's be honest here.
So, I mean, at parties, we're out of this. Jesus, make us happy. Turn this water into something that's going to make us drunk. Well, okay. Here's water. Here's wine. Boom.
Right. But no, I don't know. I happen to like booze, and I don't claim to be some kind of booze hound, because the type that you think are drunks, to be a drunk, and to be I literally, you have to just want to drink. You will drink mouthwash to get a drunk. No, I want to drink the finer ingredients in life and make the best beverage. I am an appreciator. That sounds crazy French.
Now there you go.
Now that's my. I am excited about alcohol. I love new things. When it comes to whiskey, literally I have an app. It's called Distiller.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, you should download it.
Okay, I think I will.
The entire thing is dedicated to whiskey.
Okay.
It's an app about whiskey. So, and it shows you a bunch of whiskeys.
Just whiskey?
Yeah, gives you reviews on American bourbon, rye, Scotch. It's all about. It gives you tons of reviews. You can make your own reviews. You can do it's great. It even shows you where to buy it. So, beside the point.
So wait. Do they? All right. Side note, completely. Do they talk about Doc 57?
I don't know if that's in there, because the problem is, like, when it comes to the Whiskey Society. Now I say that, almost embarrassed to say that because it sounds ridiculous, but with people that are super into whiskey, like I love whiskey, and I don't love whiskey in the sense that I love Jack Daniel's No. 7. I do. I think it's fine.
See, I honestly love
it has a bite.
any whiskey.
It has a bite, and there is a certain level of appreciation that I have for that.
Exactly.
bite.
No, sometimes you just come home from work and
You
you're
want
like,
a bite.
I want something that's going to
I want
kick
to hit me in the
my
face.
ass.
Right. And you want it to hit you in the face. But then for me, there are those things that I want to sip and just be like, beautiful taste.
Well, like one of
Now-
those things, like, see, I've actually had a better appreciation for what's on my shelf right now, and that is the Jim Beam Devil's Cut. And it is not the smoothest.
I won't
It's
lie
not
to
the
you.
smoothest.
It's a beautiful
but it is
whiskey.
beautiful. Exactly.
It's got a bite, but it's got a smoothness all on its own. And I am a big fan of. Now I get really into bourbon because bourbon's a big
See,
commodity.
and this is where me and you just connect.
Well, it's a big commodity now, because it wasn't really necessarily such a huge thing until within the last 10 years. It's become
I'll have to agree with that, yes.
huge thing in America. Like, and you're to the point where you're seeing the idea of a shortage of
Really?
whiskey.
See, that's something I haven't heard of
Creek is
yet.
having an issue keeping up with because Buffalo Creek owns a lot of the major distilleries that produce a lot of your big brands, and they're having a problem keeping up with demand because there's such a high demand for bourbon whiskey, because bourbon is a sweeter form of whiskey. It's made with more corn than whiskey.
So what's the saying?
That's
all
not
right.
what I meant.
I sound kind of. I mean, I feel kind of ashamed not to know this, but so bourbon is whiskey, but whiskey isn't bourbon, right? Or is that the other way around?
So bourbon is it's essentially like.
Because I know there's a saying.
It's
like,
essentially it's essentially 51% corn in ingredients. So if it's more, because the way it was, and there's a big story behind it, but essentially it's when, if you want to like dumb it down, it's basically it's like when. Actually, I'll elaborate what you were saying. You were just saying how all bourbon is whatever. The saying is that basically all bourbon is whiskey.
Okay.
But all whiskey is not bourbon.
That's it,
what you.
yes.
Yeah. So it like that is basically like that is the very definition of kind of what a bourbon drinker will know. So, or I should say a bourbon appreciator will know, like someone that really knows bourbon.
Okay.
Because you can drink plenty of bourbons. You can drink Jim Beam White Label all you want. I still think it's shit bourbon. Because, like, yeah, okay, fine. Jim Beam has some great shit.
But, I mean, anybody could say the
fucking-
same thing about just regular number 7, too.
Plenty of people don't like it. Because that's not really bourbon, though, if you think about it. For what the ingredients
number 7
are.
isn't, Jack Daniel's number 7 isn't
The
bourbon.
problem
it's
is
straight whiskey.
Bourbon, you can't have bourbon unless it's been produced in America.
Okay.
If it's outside of America, it's not bourbon. It was invented in Kentucky. It was essentially in Kentucky, in that whole region. And it has to be at least 51% corn in ingredient. The rest of it is honestly almost not important. As long as you're 51% corn in your ingredients, then you can classify yourself, and you're made in America, you can classify yourself as bourbon. Which is kind of why I love
really
bourbon so goddamn much, because it's so goddamn American that I'm just like, oh, all right, fuck.
America, fuck yeah.
But whiskey, technical whiskey doesn't, like regular American whiskey or Scottish or whatever, they're not corn related. They don't have 51% corn. If they have corn in there, it's not more than 50%. You know what I mean? It's never that high ever. Most like your vodkas are typically potatoes. Tito's handmade vodka, mostly corn. Why? It's fucking incredible. Tito's handmade vodka is beautiful.
Yes, I know. That's something you've said I need to get plenty of times.
That is the best vodka. Like, never buy vodka again unless it's that.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm saying kill some shit up there and then buy that.
For those who don't know, my my alcohol's top shelf is quite stocked right now, actually.
Well, and another thing too is well, as far as like bourbon and how that goes,
okay,
it's in order for it to be like real bourbon again. 51% corn, made in America. It can be made in new barrels. It can be made in charred barrels. It doesn't necessarily matter. Where you're essentially it has to be. I'm trying to think of the major difference, but it's like new charred barrels. Like, you could have a brand new barrel, char it, put whiskey, you can make a bourbon out of it. Technically, you can't if it's not, because a traditional whiskey is made in oak barrels.
All right.
Oak is like your fucking, that's what your barrels are usually made out of. Now, bourbon can be made out of any kind of barrel, essentially, because as long as 50% corn, made in America, could be in a new charred barrel, doesn't have to be, whatever. Your major component is your 51% corn. That's your thing. I'm gonna probably stop saying that because I've said it at
you've
least
kind of
6
repeated
fucking
it a couple times now.
But the point is that essentially, but yeah, has to be made in the U.S. though. That is the most important part. Put it in, and that's the thing. You can't put it in pre-aged barrels. It has to be in brand new barrels.
Okay. All right. Oh, brand new. Okay, that's interesting.
It can be charred. You can char a barrel.
Okay.
Take your blowtorch, char the barrel. Like, most of the companies have their own charring procedure.
So there's like an art of charring.
Well, no, it's sort of, but there's a procedure they use to char the barrels. You have to do that, and technically, for it to be a bourbon, you have to do it in new barrels. New barrels is the only way you can really do it.
That's interesting. See, and
it has to naturally.
This
age.
is exactly what I want to do. Like, something educational. Hey, it's educational for the people who enjoy alcohol and want to know more about, well, bourbon, whiskey.
Also, if someone ever tells you that it's bourbon and it's less than 80 proof, tell them that they're full of shit.
Really?
80 proof is the minimum for bourbon. It cannot be bottled in anything less than 80 proof.
But
It could
mostly,
be- no, you could
everything
be-
I've seen is always usually 80 or above.
Done perfect. Great. Otherwise, don't believe it.
All right.
Like Devil's Cut 90 proof, fantastic. Buy it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It tastes great. It's got fucking flavor
It's
the ass.
so good.
But like you can when bourbon is distilled, it can't be higher than 160 proof. If it's proof
What's
higher,
the highest whiskey you've seen? I think the highest I've seen
proof
was
wise? Oh
Bullet,
god.
not Bullet, sorry. Booker's, which is 141, I believe.
I mean, I've seen you can get you can get higher than that. But like
That's just personally what
Bourbon?
highest I've seen.
bourbon shouldn't be higher than 150. I mean, you can probably get 155.
I mean, I sip on Wild
Turkey.
Turkey 101 all
Yeah.
day long.
No, that's fine, but it shouldn't be barreled. Well, okay, so it's hard to explain, but like when you're distilling it, it cannot be higher than 160. Typically, it just the way that it's always worked is it's never higher than 160 proof. And I know that when it's actually into the barrel out of the distillery, it shouldn't be higher than 125 proof. Can you alter and be 150, 100, 120? Yeah, you can. Of course you can. Distillers can do whatever the fuck they want. It's, but the most important ingredient is that it's 51% corn, made in America, new barrels. After that, I don't care. Like, essentially, after that, I don't care.
So, all right.
How
We have been of drinking age for many years now. What time is it? It is 6:35.
what time are we at?
Oh, we are at 2 hours and 30 minutes.
We should kill it soon.
We should be back in us. Don't worry, there's gonna be a lot of editing.
Yeah.
Now we have had so many times with alcohol. Many favorable, many not so favorable.
That is very true.
Is there any stories that fucking embarrass me, embarrass yourself?
No, I'll embarrass
I mean,
myself.
we already have. I
No,
mean, you
but I'll embarrass
don't
myself
remember
again.
your wedding.
That's not
But
honestly.
so,
That's not
let's-
even the worst part. That's not even the worst part.
Let's just
My
share
worst-
some
my
stories
worst
about
story, and
alcohol and me and you.
I am a very big proponent on just not drinking and driving. A, because of my profession, sure. But B, because it's just fucking a terrible idea.
It is.
So now I've done that before. And not intentionally. Like, I haven't been like, I'm going to drive because I don't care.
I really hope this is a story it turns out to be.
Oh, it's
'cause
going to be.
I know
It probably
one
is the
of
one
these.
that's going to be. So,
Is this
I
the one
went-
with Jared?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So I went out with a friend to this place called Kitty's in Reading or North
Okay.
Reading or whatever. So they, I don't ever go there, but I went there. He asked me to meet him there. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Now, prior to this, him and I weren't really friends. We didn't really agree on much.
There's a long story behind
almost
this one,
wanted to kill each
but
other.
we're just gonna leave
regardless,
that one.
the point is,
regardless, yeah.
this was him and I going out drinking for the first time. Went out, him and I hit it off great. Fucking started drinking Jack and Cokes crazily at the bar. Now going nuts. I was buying the round, he buy the round. We go for like hours. We did that. No, with credit cards. So I don't know how much I racked up. Who knows? Crazy amount. So we got, fine. I wasn't like dying. I wasn't falling over myself. I wasn't even really inebriated at that point. I was still able to function. I could see straight. I could walk straight. I had no problem. I felt great. Left there. Went to this place called a Frosty Mug in Lawrence. Had some more. At that point, I was like, they were like, "Well, we have to cut you off."
Were you with him as well? Or
Oh,
no?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So they were like, "We have to cut you off because we're closing soon." We're like, "Oh fuck! All right, fine." And I still felt fine. I'm like, "God damn it!" He's like, "You want to come to my place?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we were hanging out for a little bit, talking.
Wait, that's something I never knew. You went back to his place?
Well, I was going to.
Okay, all right.
So we were like, yeah. I was like, fuck, yeah, let's go. Let's drink some more. So went to go leave, and I remember getting on the highway. Now I felt fine. Everything prior to this, I felt normal. Like I've been drunk prior to that. I felt normal. So
Yes,
I
we
got
know.
I got on the highway. He lives in Belmont. Yeah. So I woke up in Cambridge. I didn't know at the time. I woke up, I vomited on myself immediately. I was like, oh, all over myself. So I was like, great. So I get out of my truck, shut the door, take my shirt off, take my shorts off. In the middle of fucking traffic, in like a main, like kind of like a main street, main busy kind of road, bunch of shops. I'm looking around. I'm like, where the fuck am I? I have no idea where I am. I'm parallel parked on the side of the road, perfectly. Like, get out of my truck.
And if you know Steve, he prides himself in
goddamn right.
Driving and parking.
I look around my truck, no blood, no dents. I'm like, we're making progress. So I'm like, where the fuck am I? And I'm in the middle of this main street and boxers in a beater. Like, where am I?
Yeah, that's the story I've heard from your wife. That you woke up and you were basically naked in your truck.
No, I wasn't at first. I threw up myself, then I got kind of naked.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So I got out of my truck. I figured out that Cambridge this, Cambridge that meant I was in Cambridge. So I'm like, wow, how the fuck did I get here from Lawrence? I don't remember. So I get in my truck, get back into traffic. I'm like, all right, so I need to know. At this point, I'm coherent. So I'm like, where the fuck am I? I need to get home. I need to go home. So I get in, I'm sitting at the light, and I motion to the guy next to me, I'm like waving, you can imagine how that must look. And I'm like, hey, I need to get to the highway. Can you direct me? And he's like, what highway? I'm like, 495, 93, fucking Route 3, I don't care. Just get me somewhere. He's like, all right, yeah, well, I'll get you to 93. I'm like, all right, fucking perfect. Takes me through this fucking long ass back roads and everything else, and I'm sitting there. At one point it was like a dirt road. I'm like, I'm gonna get raped. I'm too drunk to fight. I'm gonna try, but I'm probably gonna die because he was kind of a big dude. Great, I'm gonna die in the dumbest of fashions. This is fucked up. Fucked my life. So I get halfway, we get there. All of a sudden, he turns at a light. Bam! I see the highway. I was like, fuck yeah! I'm not gonna get raped. I'm going home. Wonderful. So I get home. I pass out. I wake up in the morning, and it's it's February when this happens, of course. So I go out the next morning in my truck, and a sheet of ice is in the back of my truck, and it's my shirt and my shorts. I was like, well, and then also vomit in the ice. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna throw that away. So that was the word. That's when I was like, yeah, that'll never happen again. That I didn't even remember driving on the highway.
I don't think.
That was the worst blackout I've ever had.
Yeah, since then I don't think anything has happened that has been quite
other than my
bad.
wedding, but I wasn't driving anywhere.
That was a different story.
I would never drink and drive consciously. Apparently, I was just too drunk to understand that I was drunk.
What I want to do is, for any one of my guests that come on to the podcast, is you may have something, you may not, but think of this as a therapeutic opportunity. Is there anything that is on your chest, anything that's going on in the media, the world, anything? You have the perfect opportunity to just talk. Okay. Anything you want to say.
Funny enough.
I mean, is there something in your life that you want to talk about?
Well, funny enough, there is actually something going on, and it does pertain to my job, essentially, sort of. But as of this morning...
Oh, okay, I know exactly where we're going.
Fucking people... that are these Black Lives Matter shit that's going on. Look, okay, I get it. You know what? There are controversial things that are happening that I'm not going to take a side on. But what I don't appreciate is when you block a highway and don't allow ambulances to get to the fucking hospitals they're trying to bring people to by blocking yourselves with barrels on the fucking highway. Because Black Lives Matter. Okay. Does this fucking old lady's life not matter? Just because your fucking ass thinks that Mr. Ferguson needs to fucking be celebrated right now? No, fuck him, alright? What matters to me, and this ambulance crew right now, is that this old person needs to get to the hospital because they're sick. And this or some other person needs to get to the hospital because they're sick. And instead of getting there, they have to go through this bullshit fucking extended route, delaying their care because you wanted to train yourself to some fucking cement barrels because you have some fucking statement to make. about some shit that is already over with.
For those of you who don't know what Steve's talking about, it's about this morning apparently on I-93, right? People
Was that 93? Yeah.
Yes,
By, like,
a lot of
Medford
people
area,
have
sort of.
had chained themselves to 200-pound barrels in the middle of the highway and were protesting for
Black Lives Matter.
Yes. So we are kind of running out of time here.
Yeah,
we are way over
we're
time.
taxed with
So there's
time.
going to have to be some cutting and editing in this
I'm sure
session.
there will be.
But I want to thank you, Steve, for being the very first guest on the podcast. It has been a pleasure. It has been immensely fun. It has been, honestly, more than I ever expected it to be. It has been just such a cool time to sit down and talk about things that we don't normally talk about. But I want to take a second to say, hey, if you want to follow Steve, learn more about Steve, ask Steve some questions. Steve's Twitter is at Schnepp87. So, and that is
That's true.
at SCHNEPP 87. So, if there's anything you'd like to ask Steve, anything you would like to say to Steve, you can do so at Twitter. And I'm sure he would be more than happy to respond to you. But with that said, Steve, I would like to again thank you. It has been my pleasure to sit here and speak with you about these things.
It has been real. It's been fun.
Real it has been. And well, I'm not going to say I hope to see you soon. I know I will see you soon, and I will hear from you soon. And everyone else will definitely hear from you soon. We will find something for Steve to be back on for.
I will be back on in some fashion. Probably just shit talking Eric when he's on. You know, that's usually what I do.
And yeah, I want to just say thank you. It's been great. It's been a party. We've had a lot to drink. We've had a couple shots.
That's just a depressing thing. Is my Tennessee Fire is almost depleted.
Well, we're just gonna have to send Eric back to Tennessee to grab us some.
That's right.
Well, hey, Steve, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
I'm so glad and more than happy that you were my first guest on this podcast. And for anybody who is listening, hey, check out some extra pictures, some extra scenes, whatever. We're going to post it up on the YouTube page, post it up on the Twitter page. Check it out. And until next time, thank you for listening. This has been a great first episode. We will see you in the second episode. Until then, have a good one.